This is the first recording since Michael became a free man.
Hey.
What?
Ooh, I got broads in it.
You have like this like renewed energy.
Hell yeah. Oh. Yeah, I went out on my
You
own
escaped the
terms.
gulag.
That's right. I said y'all can keep that. Yeah, that's it's pretty wild.
Like free man from like your job or
Free man from the job. Mm-hmm.
oh.
From that gulag. Because that's so funny you say gulag, because once I found out what those were like, I was like, that is exactly what it was. That's what it feels like. The quota. Just keep doing that. Although I will say it's been funny. Like it's like this rush. It's like this cacophony and like this crescendo, and all of a sudden it's just like whoosh, quiet.
Damn.
It's like, oh, I wake up and it's pretty chill. I don't have to worry about like get in the queue and the phone's ringing off the hook, and I'm like, oh, what am I even doing this job for? This isn't even my thing, but I'm doing it. I'm cleaning up messes and helping people out. I don't know. It was just easy to approach people, but yeah. So I'm a free man. I'm a free man.
Hey, good for you.
So before we get in, I want to get your opinions on this, because I felt like last time I went to the movie, I straight up ran into this predicament where I was like excited to get snacks from the theater, and they were out of red vines. They had just like the bullshit ones there, like, you know, Twizzlers and stuff like that. And I just wasn't really feeling anything. So I was like, I'm kind of wondering like what my go-to movie theater snack is. So I was curious about you guys. Like, what's your go-to?
Popcorn, pretzel, no salt with cheese. The pretzel is optional, but the popcorn is always a must.
Okay.
No salt on that pretzel?
It's too salty.
But it's got cheese. The cheese
has enough salt in it.
I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't eat cheese. So what?
Oh no. That's depressing.
Tell me every day people are like, oh, I had this really great salad with gorgonzola cheese on it. It was delightful. I'm just like, I remember the days when I could have gorgonzola. It was the best. It was my favorite. So yeah, so it hurts. It hurts. It cuts me deep, and everybody hurts.
Oh, you will be hurting after you have some cheese.
I will make everybody else hurt. That's for real. Sulfur.
Every part of me hurts.
I choose chocolate over candy, like over like candy confection type things. I'll go for a Twix, or I'll go for a Snickers, or a Baby Ruth, or a Payday. You know, no chocolate. I'll go for a Payday.
For me, another classic is Mr. Goodbar. I love Mr. Good Bars.
Mr. Good Bars. Again, peanuts, dude.
Peanuts and chocolate.
So
that's it.
Good.
But it's not whole peanuts. It's like crushed peanuts. So I think that makes it fun.
You get more peanut per bite. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to look for them.
We doing this?
Let's mob it.
Let's do it. Oh, that. Yeah.
Let's get at it. Yeah. Let's mob it.
How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to Aflixionados podcast, triumvirate celebratory episode 62. Our show is available wherever you normally get your podcasts, and new episodes drop on the first Saturday of each month, 5 a.m. Pacific, of course. All of our social accounts are bundled together for you in our link tree. If you enjoy our content, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. My name is Eric, and the other voices occupying your head this time are a devoted mother of three, lab geek, comic nerd, retired emo, HBIC, tourist, my sister and co-host, Stephanie.
That would have been funny if you said all of that and then was like, Michael.
My devoted mother.
And the other voice occupying your head this time is a man of many trades, philosopher, charmer, future librarian, fancy mattress owner, coffee enthusiast, my good friend, former colleague, and co-host, the free man himself, Michael.
Well, hello. Hello, Poppet.
Here on Aflixionados podcast, we mainly talk about films that range from mind-numbing to mind-blowing. From time to time, TV shows and other forms of media are also covered. We will be getting into spoilers here, and there will be only the healthiest amount of expletives tossed in.
Fuck yeah.
You have been warned.
From afar.
If you ain't ready, then get ready, because in this episode, we'll be discussing the stylish, ruthless, neo-noir crime anthology Sin City, released in 2005, co-directed by Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Frank Miller is a big name in the comic book world, just to throw that out there. This dude has been around forever. Made a name for himself in the 80s in Daredevil. I think writing and doing the art for Daredevil. Brought Daredevil back from the dead, basically.
Damn. Okay.
But you might know him also as having done other notable works such as 300.
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn.
And it's no secret that Sin City, the film adaptation, right, is based off the comics, but the 1991 comics. So I mean, these are freaking old, right? And it took this long for someone to kind of like want to cover it. I almost feel like this style couldn't have been done until early 2000s, at least correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It holds up. Yeah.
And what was actually cool about this movie is that there are apparently no credited screenwriters because a large portion was pretty much just a shot for shot adaptation of the source material. So they actually used like the pages of the comics as the storyboards.
Wow. Wow. That's fucking cool.
I guess they had made like a short, like him and Robert Rodriguez had made a short of it, and they liked it so much they decided to make the full feature.
That's dope.
I mean, did you guys know anything about Sin City before you saw it for the first time?
Well, as happened often during that time, I learned a lot about it from that very comic savvy ex as my husband walks in. Thank you. Talking about my ex.
That's very sweet. He just waved politely for those who don't know.
Yeah.
That's why, he said, "Aw."
You forgot to mention, your loving, sexy husband.
Yes, that guy, the guy that I've been with for 15 years, definitely chose over anybody else.
For me, before I saw it, like I saw the trailer, I thought it was sick. I didn't know dick about this. I was like, hell yeah, I'm in. That thing looks cool.
Same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stylized. I mean, the whole thing, God, yeah.
I haven't actually read the source material, but yeah, I knew about it before I went into it.
And as I was saying, like this could have been done before the early 2000s because this whole movie is basically like a real life comic aesthetic, right? So
it's so cool. It's interesting because that's sort of how I think about Scott Pilgrim, but it's so different.
It is different, yeah. They took a different approach to
like
it.
Because Scott Pilgrim, like they have like, like the comic-y aspects to it. And then if you think about other, other adaptations or other, I guess, comic-y movies, like I think about like Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's
that one is super comic-y too, but also in a totally different way.
It's also animated too.
Sin City or Scott Pilgrim. It is animated, but like it's also, it also has those comic-y elements.
When it's animated, you have more of an advantage, right? But I feel like it's hard to depict a comic book in real life with real life actors. We're just not built the same way that like comic book characters are.
Yeah.
Up until this movie, I had never seen comics depicted in a way that felt as if you're reading a comic, right? So like the framing, the pacing, like the close-ups when delivering the one-liners, exaggerated action.
It's so good. So good. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, because this is that's one of the things I wrote down. I was just like, right off the bat, just noir, just heavy noir. I think one of my favorite lines Josh Hartnett says at the beginning, he says to the girl in the red dress, he says, or not to her, but he says of her, he said her perfume, a sweet promise that brings tears to my eyes.
So poetic
to hear perfume described that way, right? Exactly, and then kills her moments later. But I was like, just the way that they described, she looked good, real good, like
very
super noir.
Yeah,
love it. Just kind of like swimming in a little.
They're
bit.
one step away from that transatlantic accent.
yeah, that would be kind of. Yeah, there's something beautiful. Like you were talking about the one-liners, which made me think of that line that he says. But again, it's particularly heavy with one-liners because it's film noir, because it's noir.
Right. When you're reading a comic, all these things happening within the frames, like it's exaggerated, unrealistic, like surreal even. It makes sense in the context of the comic. And I feel like everything that they do here that's like over the top, it still fits. Like it makes sense in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just the over exaggerated, like open eye, like Benicio del Toro when he's his creepy character when he's like being interrogated, or when his ass is
You're
about to be
making a
grasped.
big mistake, pal.
You're making a big mistake. Oh, dude, Benicio, fucking
Oh,
love that
yeah.
guy. He can do no wrong.
It's so like it's so greasy and uncomfortable, but so good at the
You're
same
just
time.
yeah, exactly. You're kind of like, oh, it's yeah, greasy, gritty. Yeah, it's gnarly. You're just like, ooh, I can't look
I
away.
know.
And like how you guys were mentioning Scott Pilgrim, 300 basically like for sure took inspiration from this. I think it came out the year later, but it also had a different feel from this and Scott Pilgrim, you know, but it also kind of felt like a comic.
Yeah.
But it was everything. The one thing I would say that's true for both is it was really saturated.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the colors were really saturated.
Really
So
bright
although
or
this
really
is noir,
dark. Yeah.
right, extremes in both ends, and drippy with gold, drippy with sweat, drippy with blood.
What I really love about this one too is that everything is basically black and white, and they only use color when they want to draw attention to something. And I love that.
Oh, Alexis Bledel.
The red lipstick.
Her eyes,
Those blue eyes.
I love just like the subtle uses of color.
I mean, the Band-Aids though, those were fucking sick. And I think they didn't actually use white. I forget what color they actually used. It was something else, something we wouldn't have thought of. But with those digital, how they were filming it, the color that they chose came out white in post.
Nice.
So that's why they chose it. But it's such a dramatic, it just pops out on the screen. Mickey Rourke, God, that guy's such a fucking badass guy.
Oh yeah,
seriously,
face all fucked up, but he's fucking damn.
It's no secret that I'm a big Tarantino fan, which he often uses a lot of non-linear storytelling, and this movie also does that, which I think is awesome. So I was kind of telling you guys beforehand my experience with the Blu-ray version, I guess a recently or a more recent release of Sin City on Blu-ray, but it came with a second disc. Like it had the theatrical disc, and then it had like a extended cut, unrated. I think they called it a recut.
Oh man, I want to see that.
I popped it in thinking like this is gonna be sick. You know, I love Sin City so much, and immediately right out the gate, you just see like a title card of the story, and then gets into it, and I'm just like, oh no, what have they done?
Did they Donnie Darko it?
They Donnie Darko that shit, and I was like, I immediately took that shit out, popped in the theatrical one. I was like, hell no, I ain't doing that.
Smart man. I had the option to do one or the other, and I saw them there, and I was like, huh, let me look it up real quick. So I just did a quick Google search. What's the difference between the two? And right away took me to Reddit, and one dude was like, the way that he wrote this review was so fucking beautiful. It was perfect. He's like, just so none of you guys waste your time like I did. He's like, I'll tell you right now, I did the watching for you, and it's terrible. He said there's 16 minutes of credits. There's 16 minutes worth of each of those. So I guess for each of those panels, for each of the different stories, they have credits for each of them. So it just drags. He's like, so of this 20 minutes of extra footage, 16 minutes of it alone is basically more credits.
Bro, it feels disjointed. Everything's like compartmentalized into its own story instead of it flowing all together, like feeling like one story.
Non-linear, right?
Like I think the way that they did it in the theatrical release was the best way, because the whole thing just flowed, and it had such great pacing.
Yeah, it's interesting. It does jump around. It does jump around in time, though.
It does, which I prefer. Like it starts telling a story, and then it like jumps to like a different timeline, and you're like, wait, I thought that person died, and you're like, oh, I guess not.
Right,
so like
exactly.
It keeps you engaged. I'm willing to not to miss out on the extended scenes, because you know, if it was important, it would have been in the movie. So extended scenes often are like not that great anyway. So I'm fine just skipping that, sticking with the theatrical cut. I think that's the best version. I don't need like title cards telling me which story is which. Like just fucking go in.
Yeah.
I think the one exception to that rule would be Blade Runner. I think Blade Runner, they say to watch like the director's cut, but there's like 5 different cuts.
Right.
So like knowing the right one to go with, because there's like the director's cut, but then a special version of the director's cut, or the uncut version, and you're like,
there's like the final cut, which I think everyone often says that's the one you want to go with. So I haven't seen that one personally. I just saw the theatrical version, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing the final cut.
Yeah, I have it on DVD.
Nice.
I watched it on DVD. Right.
So the movie has a cold open, and it just opens right into the Customer is Always Right, part 1. It starts off with the salesman, played by Josh Hartnett, and he's almost like at like some like rooftop penthouse party thing going on, right? And so everyone's
Mm-hmm.
dressed like really nice. You don't really know what his character is, but I guess in the credits he's called the salesman. I don't know. He seems like a pretty okay guy. He's kind of suave. Like, okay, he might be like a ladies' man or something. That was kind of the vibe I got. What about you guys?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Same.
yeah, exactly. Debonair.
Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on until it happens.
Yeah,
You know.
he seems wild.
He sees this girl like just standing out on the balcony, who I guess is called the customer, played by Marley Shelton.
I would have known that she was called the customer, then she would have just been, oh, the woman in the red dress.
Yeah, that's all I knew her as. Yeah,
Yeah, it's obviously this gorgeous looking woman, like tight fitted dress. She looks great. And she's just kind of having, or she's like just standing by herself looking lonely. And you don't really know what her story is, do you? Like, I don't think
No.
they really say.
no.
Mm-mm. He just describes her the way he sees her,
Mhm.
the way he basically interprets her, whether he's right or not.
They kind of have like an interesting exchange because they almost immediately have like this connection between them.
Yeah, it seems like he interpreted her right because, you know, when he starts talking to her and she's eating it up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have been too. Josh Hartnett is just a charming guy.
Lost in those eyes. Yeah, but he had to have known something because she was the mark.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So he had a little bit of.
So, but he sweet talks her a little bit and tells her he's gonna save her, and then they kiss.
Sweet kiss.
And then
Bam.
Pow! Right in the kisser. No, not really.
He plugged her, see?
He plugged her. Yeah, that's right. Plugged her good.
Kind of like savage, but like kind of gangster at the same time because he was just like, you know, she was running from something. I'll never know what it is. I'm going to cash my check in the morning. Like, boom. Like, that was the end of the scene. I was like, what the fuck?
How many others has he killed? To him, it's just a number at this point. Yeah.
right. They had a nice kiss though, so that's cool.
Nice kiss, and like, look, if she's gonna die, at least she was feeling comfortable. And in a strange, twisted way, you know, if she's gonna die anyway, if somebody's got a hit on her, especially in that town, she's gonna die, whether it's at by his hands or somebody else's. So just to know that he like in some weird, twisted way, he's like comforting her in that moment. She's going out feeling pretty good. She felt seen, she felt loved, felt safe, and then yeah. Not a bad way to go out if you're going to go out.
You know, this is the cold open, like I was saying, and it's kind of like a bite-sized story. Like, you know, it doesn't last longer than like 10 minutes. And this is our introduction. Like, it kind of zooms out over Basin City. It just turns into the Sin City logo, and it kind of has like that fun sort of theme to it as well. What'd you guys think of the opener? Like, how'd you guys feel about like our introduction into this world of Sin City? Kind of sets the tone, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what it does. It's like what you expect to have, what you're thinking is going to happen in this movie is likely not what's actually going to happen. So brace yourselves. The pretty girl is going to get murdered at the hands of the handsome guy that you thought was going to sweep her off her feet. This ain't a love story.
This ain't that.
Motherfuckers.
No, definitely not. At some point, it shows the sign for the city. It says Basin City, but the BA is like scratched out.
Yeah. See, that was a good eye because I never saw that myself. So I read about that. And
Really?
I had to look it up.
I can't remember where. Yeah, I can't remember where it shows that, but I remember seeing it and it was scratched out. And like later on, it shows the sign again. So maybe it was like in the past or something. I don't know, but it wasn't scratched out. It just said Basin City.
When I pulled it up, it didn't look scratched out. It looked shot out. Someone shot
really?
the word,
Oh,
the letters B and A out of Basin City, and so that's where it gets the term Sin City from.
Yeah.
But another fun fact about that opener, "The Customer is Always Right," Part 1. So that was actually Robert Rodriguez's audition to direct Sin City with Frank Miller. Frank Miller, he just kind of like told them like, "This is the scene. Send me what you got. Like, what's your depiction of the scene?" And so Robert Rodriguez came up with that idea. This is where he came up with the like aesthetic for the movie, like the saturated black and white with like the red dress and like the red lipstick
and her green eyes.
Exactly. Frank Miller apparently liked that so much that he was just like, fuck yeah, we're going to use that for the entire movie.
You know, in that vein, in that same thought where it's like, here's your audition, you fucking killed it, it's yours. Robert Rodriguez, I was watching this podcast. It was a taped podcast, like video podcast, you can see, with I believe it was with Tim Ferriss. And yeah, he explains that he's got he is able to bankroll. He's basically like, what is it like? You can send him a script. If he likes it, he'll help you to make it.
Oh,
if it grabs him. So it's like Robert Rodriguez is like, there is no shortage of need for action films. Those are always in demand, So he's like, since you know that this is the case, if you ever wanted to write any movie that you want to see made, want to see something on the screen you haven't seen before, and you have an idea for a film, send it to me.
Paying it forward.
That's nice.
Then yeah, it's very specific though. It is only action films.
That's very much his style. That's why.
Exactly.
So who wants to carry us into the next story?
Oh boy, this is fun. So we're back in Sin City, right? We have this cop. He's getting kind of old. He has a bum ticker, played by Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
So his name is John Hartigan.
Dude, Bruce Willis is so good in this role.
Mm-hmm.
I know. May he have peace or whatever, because I hear he's not having a good time right now, which sucks. He goes after a serial child killer / rapist. Obviously, he's a piece of scum of the earth kind of dude.
Rourke Jr. or simply Junior.
Rourke Jr. Unfortunately, this guy is the son of a powerful and super corrupt senator. Also, his partner, his police partner, is in on it. He's been bribed or whatever. So Hartigan is trying to save an 11-year-old Nancy Callahan, who he has kidnapped and is getting ready to, do his usual thing to.
Played by Mackenzie Vega. We gotta give these actors their flowers.
Played by Mackenzie Vega as the 11-year-old version of Nancy. So Hartigan is doing his level best to save her, but his heart is like basically giving out on him as he goes. But he's trying to hang in there, and he ends up, his partner, whose name is Bob, played by Michael Madsen.
I did not like his acting here, and it was really disappointing because I actually really like Michael Madsen, and I'm very much like in the camp that firmly believes that Michael Madsen is capable. Like, just look at him in Tarantino films, right? Like, he does great in those. He could have been a legit A-list actor if he put that effort in, but I don't know. I feel like he kind of just fell into just being a B actor, and he was fine with it.
Maybe just the whole noir style isn't his thing.
Maybe. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when he was delivering his like that bum ticker line, he wasn't really putting emotion into any of the words. Like, he was just kind of reading it off a page for the first time. That's kind of how it came off for me anyway. It sounded flat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's trying to stop him. He's trying to stop him because since he's been bribed, but Hartigan's not having it. So he just clocks someone in the face.
Yeah, I think I don't know, Michael Madsen, R.I.P. by the way. Yeah, I have such a.
Did he
a
really
great
die? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh man.
Always been one of my favorite actors. In fact, actually, the first time I ever saw him was in Free Willy. He's like the stepdad in Free Willy, and I thought he was like a really endearing father figure. And
probably
then,
the first time I saw him too.
Right, and then I go and I watch Reservoir Dogs when I'm in high school. I saw Free Willy in '95, I think is when it came out. So I was in like 5th grade then. But in high school, I go back and I watch Reservoir Dogs, and he could not be more different. In fact, but he's charming. He's charming when he's charming. Chopping people's ears off and shit, and just
doing
dancing.
that dance. Yeah, taking his time, enjoying it.
Exactly. Just clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. Oh, so good. So yeah, he definitely has a more of a range than what he portrayed on the screen. I don't know his reasons for. I don't know. Maybe that was just his interpretation of how he needed to play that part.
Yeah.
But he definitely has more of a range than what he showed on screen.
Definitely.
I just can't believe that he shared the screen with Bruce Willis. Like I'm happy he did. It's just wild because I'm just like, wow, Michael Madsen is such a badass character. He's such a badass actor, you know?
Right.
So just to have them both on screen. So he's just kind of like, hey man, come on, don't worry about it. Hey, like he's trying to make not too big of a deal of it. Like he doesn't want to try to convince him. He's just kind of like, it's just let's go over and do something else, man. From what you can tell, they've had this. How long had they been partners?
It sounded like a long time. I don't know if he said a specific time, but yeah.
He might have, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there goes.
He wasn't really putting that much effort for it. He wasn't like standing in front of him, like pushing him back, like, hey, don't do this, you know? Do you understand who you're messing with? This is Rourke Jr., played by Nick Stahl, by the way, who does a great job as this villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's very hateable.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yes, very, very.
This is like such an endearing story. Like this, specifically this section, I feel like is really endearing with young Nancy. they're like on the end of that dock, right? And he's kind of like holding her hostage, and that's where he delivers that line first, right? He's like, "Look at you, you're keeled over. You can't even lift that cannon," right? Like he always just kind of uses that's like almost like his catchphrase that he always uses to like jab him with.
Yeah.
But he manages to get through anyway, and he shoots Rourke Jr. 3 times or more, but definitely once in the ear, right?
Oh yeah, he shoots off his
ear,
shot his ear.
and what does he say? Like he's getting rid
He
of
took away his weapons, both of them.
His weapons.
Thank you.
Right. He shot his arm
Yeah.
off at like the forearm area.
His hand and his junk.
Oh, what pray tell was his junk? I don't.
His genitals, Michael.
Ooh, I did see that. That's right. Okay, yeah. That tracks.
How could you forget? But unfortunately, Bob has come too and snuck up behind Hardigan, shoots him in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's done. But yeah, he he hears the siren, so he's like, at least she's safe. At least she's safe, And then he like passes out, but Nancy kind of crawls into his lap, and obviously she feels safe and secure with him and appreciates his efforts to save her.
Yeah, I love that line too. Old man dies, young girl lives. Fair trade. Right here, you think that he's done, right? Hardigan.
He's dead, yeah.
He's not coming back from this, and like he saved this little girl, and we kind of just caught the climax of whatever this story was. It seemed like.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, because when you first watch it, you don't realize that there's more to it. So I was just like, that was a nice little good sized story there, and it was very dramatic and had some action and even had like betrayal and all that stuff. So I was like, damn, that was cool. I like where this is going.
And that was just the opener.
And you think that that's the end just because you also saw Josh Hartnett do the same thing, and you're like, it looks like that one ended. So maybe this one ended too. And you're like, okay, I guess we're moving on to the next thing. Like, what am I watching right now? And then it moves on to the hard goodbye.
So then we move on to the next section, which is very interesting. So yeah, this one's fun. You basically come into Marv, played by Mickey Rourke, who we were talking about.
Hell yeah.
And he's messed up, his face is all scarred up, and he's huge and like big brute of a man. And he's with this woman named Goldie. They have a great night together. He still has his genitals.
And how
uses them.
Yeah, he knows how to use them.
So they have a nice night together and they fall asleep together. Unfortunately, when Marv wakes up, Goldie is dead.
Wipe yourself off. You dead.
Yeah,
she did.
You dead.
I like that aesthetic too, because it like zooms away and everything's black, but like their heart-shaped bed, is like centered, and it gets smaller and smaller as they're laying on it. Dang, see, just the aesthetics, right? Is that top-down view?
So good.
That was cool.
Had she been in White Chicks already? That had come out maybe the year before, right? Or was that a couple years before?
I think it might have been before.
Jamie, because she went by James King back then. In fact, actually, she was in Bulletproof Monk with
White Chicks was the year before.
Okay, wow, that's quite a change too. And she only played like a small role in White Chicks. She was the white chick that they were impersonating, one of the ones that they pretended to be. So she obviously wasn't around for too long. Since they had to take her place and pretend to be her.
Look just like her.
She looked just like her, splitting image. No, she was absolutely gorgeous. I did not realize. Wow, I didn't realize that it was her. It was, as I was watching it, I was like, "Who is this? Like, who is this? This girl is gorgeous. How is she like this no-namer?" And then I realized as I was watching it, I was like, "No way, this is totally Jamie King." Yeah, it was lovely and
beautiful
to hear him describe it, and you really get a sense like he had this connection with her that he'd never had with anybody before, so that when he does wake up and find her dead, with no sign of death, no blood, nothing like that, just no breath in her lungs, that this guy, this hardened guy, him saying that he's going to make somebody pay, he means what he says.
I mean, this is probably the most badass story in Sin City for me, and Marv is a fucking beast. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
Stole the whole thing from me, honestly. I'm just like reeling from that story. He was just such an amazing actor beforehand when he was recognizable as the old Mickey Rourke, and then of course after years of boxing and all reconstructive surgery and all that, to look like what he looks like now. The man is still there, the man with that acting ability is very much present. Damn, does he command that screen?
As badass as Marv is, like, he's kind of a tragic character too, because the reason why he's in love with Goldie is because, like, no one really wants to fucking go near this guy with like a 12-foot pole, right? He's pretty uncomfortable to look at, this brute looking guy, right? And I will say, like, I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I thought that was just Mickey Rourke's face. I didn't realize that he had like prosthetics on. I was like, damn, this guy's fucking weird looking.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely had the the prosthetics. Well, I mean, even Benicio del Toro has like a pronounced, like, really large schnoz, and the chin, got that Jay Leno chin. But yeah, it almost, so many things are so pronounced on the men, the more like masculine features. So this really strong nose that he has, where there's like no bridge. He like has no real bridge to his nose. It's just from forehead down to the tip. Just fucking, there it is. Just bow. And then, but which is interesting too, because the women, at least depicted in the movie, I'm not sure how it is in the graphic novel, but the women have such delicate features. All of them, even what's her name, Rosario Dawson. He like really accentuates like her lips and her eyes and just all those really feminine qualities. It's like everything is maximized.
That's definitely a style that is used a lot in comics, is like masculine features are exaggerated and feminine features are exaggerated on both sides.
Yeah, it's quite a stirring juxtaposition. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that and the color, great polarity that he plays with there visually. Those big coats, I love how he kept exchanging. He kept leveling up.
That's a nice coat. That's a mighty fine coat.
That was funny.
That's a mighty fine
taking
coat.
People's coats.
And they're just kind of like, huh? Like, what? They're not at all concerned with this. They're more, who is this guy? This guy looks fucking scary as shit. What's that fuck?
And it always fits him perfectly.
Oh, we forgot to mention that Marv apparently also has some sort of condition that makes him like hallucinate. And so his parole officer gets him hit the medication that he needs.
Even before he gets to that parole officer, we got to talk about how he wakes up, police are already on his ass. He's not even sweating it. He's like lighting a cigarette, and there's
he looks out the window.
Come out with your hands up, and he's like, "I'll be right out," and just fucking like burst through the door. I was like, "Hell yeah, let's go!"
Burst through it. I mean, it just was so cool. You knew that this was you're suspending disbelief in so many ways. Like this, you've already seen some crazy shit. You already saw Bruce Willis get shot up like 50 times. Maybe not that many, but you saw him get shot up a bunch and he was still alive, and you've seen people's arms get blown off. So you already know like some crazy shit could happen here. Boom, they get knocked over the banister and they're falling to their deaths. Meanwhile, he dives down stairs head first and then catches one of the banisters on the lower floors, does not dislocate his shoulders, bangs in fact into like his whole chest that he was diving, and so he grabs on, he bangs his chest into the floor. the whatever third or second floor that he grabs onto, and then pulls himself up. So you're like,
he like throws himself
almost indestructible. Yeah, throws himself up, and then he just kind of like crouches for a minute, and they're still shooting at him, and he's just not really sweating it still.
It's kind of just showing you like, all right, this is who this character is about. Like he's very different from Hardigan, right? Like capable of very different things.
Almost indestructible. Yeah. Tank of a person. I love how it didn't take itself seriously. That's what I love about Robert Rodriguez.
It's over the top, but in a good way.
Over the top. It's again, if he's swimming, he's just going like this the whole time instead of like actually like
yeah.
So that was fun. It just, again, super tongue in cheek. You know what you're getting yourself into. This movie is you're just, it's bending reality a little bit, and you're along for the ride.
Right. And then, of course, the parole officer, as Steph was mentioning, Lucille. This is Michael's favorite part, played by Carla Gugino.
Oh my gosh. Biggest crush on Carla Gugino. Yeah, absolutely. Had a crush on her since I saw her in, I think one of the first things she was in was an episode of The Wonder Years, where she's Kevin's older brother's girlfriend.
Okay.
And she is gorgeous then. But at any rate, fat crush on her since then. And then so to see her in all her splendor in this movie, so topless. Surprising, so right, exactly, topless, just right off the bat, it's her, and you know,
topless in a thong, so can't go wrong with that.
Not at all. You've seen her in Snake Eyes. That is another big one that I had a big fat crush on her for, and she had like this pixie cut back then too in the movie Snake Eyes with with
Oh, that
Nicolas
was
Cage
her. Oh
and
shit.
and Gary Sinise.
Okay.
That's such a damn good movie. I really think that that didn't get quite the review. I don't know. I think it's good. It's a pretty good one. But at any
She was
rate,
also in Watchmen.
also in
Right.
Watchmen, that's right.
She's the mom. Yeah. Silk Spectre 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right. The original, the OG. That's right.
And she's just patching him up, basically. Like his parole officer is the one that's patching him up. She's like, "What kind of shit
Yeah.
did you get into now, Marv?" And he's just like, "I don't know. Don't worry about it."
Exactly.
That's the kind of city this is.
Right, exactly. There's a parole officer.
Yeah, she gives him his medication so that he can control whatever condition it is that he has.
I like how he's just chewing on him like Tic Tacs in the car.
Chewing on him. Yeah. And I know. Gnarly.
You got to use like horse tranquilizers to take this guy down.
Basically, yeah.
You're crazy, man. I like you, but you're crazy.
That
You just took
scene,
a trank to the neck, dude. That's
awesome,
awesome.
dude.
Awesome.
That scene cracked me up when I first saw it. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop
Same.
laughing for like 20 minutes, dude.
I mean, he's a hulking figure for sure. That guy's
But it just makes sense in the context of this world. Kind of like
Mhm.
Xerxes from 300, because that dude was like 7'9" as well, standing next to Leonidas, but making him look like a toddler.
oh right.
But everything's exaggerated, and his size is also exaggerated, right? Like this guy can't even fit through doorways.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't fit through doorways.
Man, he was so badass though. So yeah, he goes and he does some interrogating of people, including the priest, where he did his confession, his fake confession, where he was actually just getting information. He gets what he needs and then he kills him.
Yeah. I don't think anybody he interrogates he offs.
Yeah. So, but he finds out that the Rourke family is involved. So then he goes to the Rourke family farm.
He also gets ran over like 5 times, and he's just like, all right, whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
By some chick that looks like Goldie.
Yeah, there's a girl in a convertible that looks just like Goldie, and she runs him over a bunch of times, but since he's indestructible, nothing happens to
He's
him.
like, is that who I thought? Huh, it looks. I'm pretty sure it's. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
exactly.
How can I be certain? I'm fucked up right now. I don't have my pills.
Right, and then just walks that off like it's nothing, and walks to that Rourke family farm. So Kevin is one fucked up character,
Played by who?
played by Elijah Wood, who looks creepy as hell.
Who the hell would have ever imagined Elijah Wood being in a movie like this?
Well, it fits. He still looks like a hobbit in this too.
I don't know if about Hobbit, but man, he's good at playing like a creepy mute.
Yeah, he definitely
Oh
kills
my gosh, he just has that creepy look on his super creepy look on his face, and I love that how like I mean it shows his eyes sometimes, but it always has that scene where like it's the reflection, like the glare on his
glare.
glasses, so you can't see his
Yeah.
eyes, and they're just the
Yep.
glasses are just white.
He's basically just a silhouette with like white eyes.
Yeah, white glare
Yeah.
reflecting.
My
Well, it's
goodness.
interesting that you
So
bring that up
creepy.
too. That you said that who would have thought that he would be this evil character, especially thinking back on the movie The Good Son. I don't know if you remember that
yeah.
movie with Macaulay Culkin,
Right.
and Elijah Wood keeps basically being treated like the patsy in the situation where Macaulay Culkin's doing evil shit and he's like his stepbrother, and Elijah Wood's the actual good son here in the
Right.
situation. So like he so to see him now role reversal, be a total like fucking murderous crazy, like
Cannibal,
like
psycho.
exactly leering, and yeah, so interesting.
And this was a
Interesting
cool
choice.
character too. Kevin, I think like even though he's creepy, like this is a fucking cool character.
Oh yeah, big time.
because he's so creepy.
And he's dangerous. Like he will fuck you up.
So, silent.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
fast.
he's silent, he's wily,
Like a coyote.
and he will fuck you up. But yeah, I mean he manages to take down Marv.
Kevin takes down Marv.
It's not unlike the Viper in the mountain. The Viper was fucking up the mountain until he got caught slipping, right? So that's kind of what reminded me of like the agility versus just brute strength.
Mm-hmm. That's
It
true.
was the death by a thousand
Yeah,
cuts.
he ends up waking up in the basement to find that Lucille's in there with him. What the fuck? And she's like freaking out. She's freaking out because she basically tells Marv, he made me watch while he sucked the meat off my own fingers.
He made me watch.
Yeah. And you're just like, ew, what the? And then she holds up her arm and
nubs.
she has no
Yeah.
hand. Yeah. Ugh.
Ew.
But yeah, once she cries it out, she gets her freak out. She cries it out in Marv's arms, and then afterward they're like, "All right, let's get out of here."
Right. She got it out. She got that good cry out.
Yeah, and then she got all rational again.
It also shows another side of Marv because like she was always there for him, so he was there for her. So I kind of like that dynamic that they have.
There's that, and I think that he understands women in a way that reveals that about him as well. That although he's this kind of hardened guy who no women really approach as well, he still has a heart for them. He can empathize with them, which is wild because he's like, yeah, like any
Chivalry.
woman, he says, like, one good, you let her cry it out, like one good cry, and then she's good to go. And that's exactly what happens. She picks herself up, and then they're on their way
For now.
Did we also mention like the trophies that Kevin has?
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The heads.
the women's heads mounted on the wall. They're like
Taxidermied heads on the wall.
taxidermied, yeah.
Ugh, so fucked
Like
up.
the most dangerous game.
This guy's just sick on so many levels.
Absolutely, him and Rourke Jr.
Yeah, who's worse out of the two?
Oh my gosh, I don't know where they find these people. Yeah, exactly. But they come out and there's a bunch of cops. Isn't Lucille kind of like, oh, they're here to help us?
Well, she knocks him out, so she incapacitates him, even though he was like, fucking assholes, they're here, I don't trust them. And she's like, no, like she knocks him out thinking, I'm gonna save us both. And so you think, okay, she's keeping the cool head. He's just like bloodthirsty, and she's gonna, cooler heads prevail. So you think she's gonna negotiate, and they just fucking gun her down.
Carla Gugino.
And it shows you that the cops are corrupt.
Definitely
Yeah.
corrupt.
Mhm.
Not just Bob, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Marv kills all of them. Good job, Marv.
Except he leaves one of them, the leader of them. He doesn't quite kill him before he first finds out, gets some intel.
Cardinal Patrick Henry Rourke, played by Rutger Hauer, he arranged Goldie's murder. He worked out with Kevin to assassinate Goldie.
I wonder if Kevin's like related to them also, but this Cardinal Rourke, he's the brother of Senator Rourke, who is the father of Rourke Jr.
It's all linked.
Mm-hmm,
Just to point that out. Yeah, the whole Rourke family is just one fucked up mess.
They fucked it.
That's where he goes to Old Town.
Yeah, to continue to try and avenge Goldie's death. Runs into Wendy again.
Who we find out is Wendy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. Runs into the Goldie lookalike again, who it turns out is Goldie's twin sister Wendy, and she's like, "This is my twin sister. Goldie was my twin sister."
And he let her beat his ass while he was tied up, or so they thought. But then he lets himself loose to light a cigarette.
Oh yeah, he's just like,
"What? You could have taken that off the whole time. You just took that beating." She was pistol whipping him.
And I think Gail was kind of watching from the side. So that was kind of your introduction, Gail, played by Rosario Dawson.
The leader
Gail.
of the ladies of Old Town.
But yeah, he's able to convince them that he didn't do it.
He loved her. He actually loved her.
And he's avenging her.
Kill him good, Marv.
Yeah. It's a good line.
So he goes back and him and Kevin go at it again.
Only this time he's prepared.
Yep.
He's got razor wire. He's got a way to bait him out with a gas tank, a little like a
he goes in
refuel.
with traps. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, ironic that Kevin should be outdone with traps by a Marv.
Because isn't he like he sets up all the razor wire, but then like Kevin just like jumps over it.
He's like, damn, he's good.
How like crazy is it that going toe to toe with Kevin, he just can't beat him. If you look at the sizes, you would think that Marv would be able to just like breeze right through him, but Kevin's just too dangerous.
Yeah, too fast.
He was trained in martial arts or something.
He's a straight up ninja because like when he runs through the forest, he makes no noise.
He is.
Right.
Completely silent,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. So creepy. But he manages to I'll let you guys take this part because I think I'd fallen asleep right here.
Oh, did you? So how's that fight go? How's the second round go for Marv?
Oh, it's a fast thing, really. If you fell asleep for even that moment, honestly, you probably blinked and it was over because he basically catches him out, having handcuffs. He handcuffs Kevin.
That's right. He handcuffs him to him so that he
Yeah,
can't be jumping
exactly.
around all
He's like,
crazy.
I
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, and then he ties him to the tree.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so good. So good.
I know, cuts off his arms and legs, and his dog that he feeds,
The scraps.
scraps too. Marv leaves Kevin there for the dog to. He basically what's his face?
Ramsey.
Ramses him.
Mhm.
Like how he starved his dogs.
Only there are no satisfying screams after. There are no satisfying.
Yeah.
With Ramsey,
Right.
there was screams, but with this guy, there are no screams, and he makes sure to mention
No screams.
that he never once screams. He just keeps smiling the whole time.
Looks at Marv the entire time.
Oh, so creepy.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
staring at him, and then he says that not even when the dog was like getting through to his guts and everything, nothing. He says it wasn't, not even when I chopped his head off with the saw blade did he stop.
Oh, jeez.
That guy was like pure evil.
Yeah.
Now he has to go to the top of the ladder, top of the food chain, which is Cardinal Rourke. Rourke's not going to put up a fight. Like, who the fuck is he? He goes there and he basically tells him, like, yeah, I killed your boy, puts his head on the table. And then, like, Rourke's more concerned about Kevin at this point. Like, he doesn't even care if he dies. He's just like, he was such a sweet boy. He had the voice of an angel.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That is so ridiculous.
It's so sacrilege.
Yeah.
You have this like corrupt like
Seriously.
cardinal, and he's so like high ranking, basically facilitated for him to be able to like carry out all of those murders and stuff.
Right. And he joined him. The cardinal even says that he ate these women with him. Oh, oof. Disturbing.
He consumed their souls. He was almost like cleansing them.
He didn't just eat them. Yeah, he said, I didn't just eat them. He didn't just eat them. He consumed their souls.
So weird. Just the way that he was trying to justify it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Marv ends up taking Rourke out, and it's not long before security shows up, and they end up shooting Marv. He doesn't die, though, because this guy can take a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the shit out of him, and I think they threaten to kill his mom unless he confesses, so that's when he finally agrees.
That's the only condition.
Again, like, they could have just killed him, put him out of his misery, but no, they want to get that confession, and they want to sentence him to death by electric chair. It was actually kind of nice for Wendy to pay him a visit, just before his execution.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't really know him, but she knew the truth. No matter what the public thinks and what he admitted to, like, she knew what really went down, and she thanked him for it.
And I think she saw what her sister saw in him. You almost get a glimpse of it a couple times, like when she says kill him good before this, a few scenes before this. So you can see it in her eyes that she's not hardened toward him anymore. And then you see that same look in her eyes when the prison cell doors open and she comes in, and they spend the night together, just laying there in his on his prison bed.
What I thought was really endearing too was he almost thinks of her as another hallucination, but it was actually Wendy, right? And he was like, Goldie, you're here. She allows it. She goes along with it because that's the least she can do for what he's going to have to go through, right?
Right. And for what he's done to avenge her sister
I'll be
and
Goldie
protect
for
them.
now.
And
Yeah.
He genuinely loved her. And if he can go out thinking that he got to see Goldie one more time, then, he deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
But with everything that this dude could take, is he really dead?
It took multiple tries. So they strap him to the electric chair and they actually fire. Well, first off, he's just like, get on with it. I don't want to hear this spiel. And so they flip the switch and he's still talking shit even after that. So they have to flip it again. Marv's done, but man, he goes out like a champ.
Yeah. Yeah, he really does.
And now we go on to the big fat kill.
R.I.P. Marv. Now we move on to the big fat kill, where we are introduced to Shelley, played by Brittany Murphy. R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Also R.I.P.
Another movie with Brittany Murphy in it.
That's true, huh? Yeah, because we just did Clueless not so long ago.
Yeah. She was pretty big at the time.
She really was.
She was good.
Yeah. Crazy to think that, anybody watching this now wouldn't really, of this age, young people that might see this movie wouldn't have the same affection for her. But she started out in Clueless and then just slowly but surely like made strides, becoming basically an A-lister. I mean, she was in what was that, Uptown Girl? Like she had several of her own flicks.
8 Mile.
Was that one of her last ones?
I think so. Well, this section is fun too.
Oh, it is. I know.
We get to see, we get to see a little bit more of the prostitutes in the red light district in Old Town.
I think this one was a little bit more on the like dark humor side. Like it was a little bit more funny.
Yeah, yeah, because Jackie Boy is hilarious, creepy and hilarious, played by Benicio del Toro, as we previously mentioned, and he's there harassing Shelley at her place. Shelley's current boyfriend, Dwight, shows up.
Clive Owen, man, shout out.
He's telling Jackie Boy to get out of there, and Jackie Boy's there. He's like drunk and he's like with his buddies and stuff.
Definitely a toxic
But
relationship.
he goes to the bathroom at some point. I love this part. He goes to the bathroom at some point, and he pees and ends up shoving his head into the toilet. And he mentioned, he like, before he does it, he's like, "You didn't flush, did you?"
No, he told him you committed a cardinal sin. That's what it is, because he's hiding in the shower. He's waiting for his moment, and he slides the curtain open as the dude's taking a leak. And then he purposefully catches him before he can flush the toilet, so that he can say that line and shove his face in his own urine and drown him effectively in that toilet that he just peed in.
And it shows him like from like the view from inside the toilet, and he's just like, ah.
That's a cool shot. I'm sure that was a really cool.
Cigarette still in
Yeah.
his mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
And he shakes his head to try to get loose, but like you see the cigarette, he's basically just gripping onto the butt of the cigarette with his teeth.
Yeah. Gross.
And yeah, I actually thought he did drown here for a second, but then he comes to and then throws up.
Like pea water flying everywhere. And like the whole rest of this scene, like all I can think about is that he is drenched in his own pee.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He goes to Old Town like right after this too.
Yeah, he tells all his goons to leave. He brought 4 dudes with him, and you'd think that they could all take this one guy, but he doesn't. He says, "Just get out of here. No questions. Don't ask me." He doesn't go looking for Clive Owen's character, Dwight. He doesn't go, we're gonna find you. We're gonna open up every door and find you, and we're gonna beat you up or kill you.
I think
or
he's
whatever.
a little spooked.
Yeah, he just leaves.
Like he seems a little spooked, and he's like, "Come on, guys, get out here now. No questions asked."
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a pussy, but
Yeah,
he tries to portray like he's hard.
Wasn't Dwight like waiting outside? Was he waiting outside the window
on a ledge?
yeah, he was on the ledge. Yeah, he was standing up.
and then to exit the building, he decides to just jump off.
Naturally.
Well, he says, "I can't let them. They're getting into trouble. They're gonna cause trouble elsewhere, and I can't let him do that. They're gonna hurt somebody. I can tell." So yeah. So then he's like, "Fuck this! I'm jumping." So he jumps
from like 5 stories up.
And then Shelly yells something at him as he's dropping, but at that point a helicopter flies over,
Yeah.
so
It sounded like she said
doesn't
stop.
hear it. Stop.
Also really like too that they decided to light up his chucks, so he was wearing red chucks.
Yeah. At this point now you see he's got these the Chuck Taylors, Converse.
They make it to Old Town, and Jackie Boy is harassing Becky, who is played by Rory.
She was basically the same character, Alexis Bledel.
Oh yeah,
I watched all of Gilmore. I know she only plays. I mean, she does a good job, I think, in
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, I didn't know she was in that.
But I feel like she didn't like. I don't know. She didn't learn how to play another character until Handmaid's Tale.
No, she did. She did in Mad Men. She was a different person.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
which preceded Handmaid's Tale. That's where she met her husband, actually, her real life husband.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm glad she figured it out, because in this movie she totally was just like
bratty.
the noir version of Rory. Yeah. She seems sweet, innocent, and
it seems like she's about to be taken advantage of by Jackie Boy.
Yeah, she's like, "Send to my shift. I'm going home." Jackie Boy starts getting a little aggressive.
Dwight I think he's about to run in, right? And then that's when Gail's like, "Hold on, we got this covered. We're good."
Yeah. Gail kind of stops him, and she's like, "Don't worry, we got this.
Enjoy the show." And she like takes the Uzi off of him.
And what does he do? He pulls out the gun. He pulls out the gun, and then Becky's like, "Oh, you just made the worst mistake of your life."
So that was the big mistake, pulling that gun, and he was forcing her into the car. And little did they know that we have fucking Miho watching closely overhead.
Played by Devin Aoki.
Aoki.
So she does her thing. chops everyone up, jumps down from some rooftop like a little ninja.
She's
Mhm.
very much the badass one in this story.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. At some point she throws this like ninja star thing and it lands in his ass.
Well, she chops off his arm, which he's pointing the gun at Alexis Bledell's character with, and
Yeah.
then she comes down and
And
just,
he's like crawling towards it.
well, yeah, exactly. When he finally gets out of his car, but by then all his homies were like just dismembered. The two passengers in the back were
She
stabbed
like
through the roof of
chops him through the
She stabbed them through the roof with the two blades, and then the one dude tries to run out. Yeah. She says, "Nah." She gives him the 1-2. He almost gets out the door, and you're kind of wondering what's she gonna do, but she just sweeps that katana like as if it was a windshield wiper and takes his head right off at the neck.
Yep.
Just boom.
right off.
So that dude's gone. All his homies are dead, and his arm's on the ground. And that is like got to be one of the gruesome depictions as well. Is he races to get toward his gun? He's scrambling to get it, and then because he doesn't have another hand, he
has to
biting
pry his own
he's
fingers
prying
open.
his own fingers off his chopped off
I
hand
love
off the
that.
gun with his own teeth, and he's just racing to do it. That's
Yeah, that's pretty gruesome. Well, wasn't it while he's crawling, she throws the ninja star thing.
I think he falls onto it, and so he's got that sticking out of his ass as he's crawling over to his gun.
She throws the little thing in the barrel of his gun.
Yeah, because Dwight runs up and he's trying to save him from himself basically, and he's just like, "Don't shoot! She threw something in your barrel," and he fucking shoots.
And then it
Gets
him
lodged.
in the head. But then she also chops his head, and he says turns him into a Pez dispenser.
Doesn't quite cut it clean off. Turns him into a human Pez dispenser. Yikes. I like it too because they mention it like a throwaway line, but then you actually see it later on.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, which is hilarious. And then here you find out what Shelley was yelling. Because they discovered that Jackie Boy was, in fact, a cop.
He's not a co-op. He's a co-op.
And I like how they kind of depict it too, because when they show her mouthing in slow motion, it does look like stop, because that's how he envisions it. But then when it cuts back to it, she says he's a cop.
Yeah.
And so Jackie Boy is actually Detective Lieutenant Jack Rafferty. And I guess he's a hero cop, as they describe it.
Whatever the heck that means.
He's a celebrated, beloved cop in the town of Sin City, Basin City.
Beloved.
Dang. So the prostitutes are freaking out because there's kind of like a truce between like the mob and the cops, or the mob cops, whatever, and the prostitutes, and they let the prostitutes
kind of govern Old Town, right?
Yeah, govern Old Town. And they're like, yeah, once they find out about this, the truce is going to be over. It's going to be all out war. It's not going to be the way it is now, and they like the way it is now.
Almost like this was planned. Like they wanted Jackie Boy to like go over to Old Town and get himself killed, so that way they can break the truce.
Whatever it was, they scared.
Fucked. Any chance that Jackie Boy's still alive after all this?
Maybe. Just kidding. That dude is a Pez dispenser.
Now Dwight he comes up with a plan to dispose of the body somehow.
Yeah, so he's like, they can't just throw the bodies wherever, they would normally throw them, because it's where everybody else goes. So he's like, okay, I have an idea.
Get me a car.
They pack all the bodies.
Yeah, he doesn't fit in the trunk, or they don't fit in the trunk, so they cut him open. I love this because this is kind of like a recurrent thing in the story, but I love the reaction because he's just like, yeesh.
It happens a couple times. Yeesh.
Yeah, different characters. Like I think even Gail, she's just like, ugh, yeesh.
You could totally see that written in the comic itself. I'm sure. You could just imagine it being there, like this long drawn out yeesh. In some weird font, sweeping.
It was a nice touch. I liked it.
Oh, definitely. It's good. It's funny that there are multiple characters who do that though.
And fun fact about the next scene when he's heading towards the tar pits, Quentin Tarantino, good friend of Robert Rodriguez, he directed a scene in the story, and it was actually that one. Dwight's in the car having a conversation with Jackie Boy.
Oh, that's great.
With dead Jackie Boy, and yeah, that was great. Jackie Boy couldn't fit in the trunk with the rest of his buddies, and so he's in the car
with that fucking
with
piece
Dwight,
of fucking the part of the gun, that portion of the gun that got blown off,
lodged in his skull. and then he keeps flopping around, like his head flops back and you can see the neck, and then he'll like flop forward.
So
and then
that was Tarantino's idea, apparently. Like he was just like he directed Benicio to like change the tone of his voice as his head moves back and forward.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
crazy.
But I think
That's good.
it's great because it's kind of like you're in the car with this body, since this is an internal dialogue he's having with this guy. Like I'm out of it right now based on all the things that I've had to
Yep.
that I've gone through and seen. And so you're kind of like, well, if you were in the car and this car was not, if this body weren't alive, it would still be flopping if you hit turns and just kind of different bumps and things like that.
Oof.
But now there's the added portion of the dialogue he's actually
Yep.
having with this person. I'm trying to think of a movie where this has happened recently, or that I've seen recently. But yeah, it's a great dramatic effect.
That's what Tarantino's good at. Like he's good at making intriguing dialogue, and that's what they're having in the car.
Oh, yeah. This existential shit.
Yeah. And then at some point he gets pulled over. And I love when he like stops hard so that Jackie Boy flies forward and the thing gets lodged further into his head, but it just looks like he's like drunk and passed out.
Right.
All he pulled him over for was his tail light was out. So like they kind of fucked him over because they not only did they give him a car with like a broken tail light, but they're just like, hey, your friends failed you. They gave you a car with no gas, and so he was running low on E, and he's just like, shut up, I'll make it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, added insult to injury.
And then he ends up having to push it
Uphill
the last
into the
bit.
tar pit.
How did he have the strength for that? Because it's first of all, it's a car.
Four
Yeah.
Second of all, it's full of like 4 bodies.
Yeah. The odds are stacked against him at the very least, but there's a will. I was thinking that to myself as well. I was just like, he's not Marv. I'll give something to them. I mean, these are cartoon. These are.
He
comic
did
book
jump
characters.
off of a building though.
True. So he's
and
got
land like he was a superhero.
So he's got some serious strength, and he believes in himself that he'll get it there. It's just maybe it'll take a little while, and then the grenade ends up helping him.
Yeah. And where did this grenade come from?
An Irishman, a militia. Well, not a militia. Sorry, a mercenary.
You can tell it's an Irish grenade by the way that it is.
You can tell it is by the way that it is.
Yeah, and he ends up in the tar along with everybody else, but the mercenaries managed to get Jackie Boy's head.
I like the fact that they're all fighting over the head because the head is the evidence.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is that what's obviously implied is, well, his body was still intact in the car. Therefore, since the car is now nose dived into the tar pit, all they could really do is make a desperate attempt to extract the head, because they just need proof that they did, that these people killed him, so that they can start this war. And so they fully decapitate him. I mean, the job had already been pretty well accomplished by Miho. Yeah, so they just do the rest of it. So they got his head.
Dwight is also fucked because he's like waist deep in the tar in the middle of it too.
Yeah.
Like quicksand.
Just the aesthetic, right? That white silhouette, and he's describing
Yeah, he's just like floating.
The fumes are going up his nose, and he's just like, this is how I go out.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Miho, you're a goddess, or whatever. I forgot how he describes it.
That's it. Yeah.
He's just so thankful, that she was there to save his ass.
What's interesting to note too is, so obviously Miho took care of the other people with whoever drove her there. They took care of the mercenaries, well, at least most of them. Meanwhile, the one that was grenade happy makes off with the head, so they're going to give chase. But what's interesting is, as they're in the car giving chase, he's still covered in tar, but her being this beautiful woman in the movie, she's already clean. I don't know if you noticed that her there was no tar on her face or anything.
Maybe it was just her arm. Like, I don't know if it would have been on her face, because she just reached down and grabbed him, right?
No. That scene when they come out of when they emerge from the tar and they're having this conversation, she is completely head to toe covered in it too, because she had to dive her whole. I think they used a crane or something around her, tied around her ankle to then just something to draw her out with. So yeah, she went full fledged in there. So they're chasing this.
They just ram right into it. This was a cool scene too, because it's following from the side of the car.
Oh, it's got like an arm, like the camera is hanging onto the car by an arm, because like you're going down, like the car to you is like level, but you're seeing that hillside as it's it's just shot. A beautiful, such a satisfying smash. Yeah, and they're in those old fucking cars too, so they don't have that. They're not built with that accordion effect where, you know, you're supposed to absorb, where the cars nowadays absorb impact so that people don't die needlessly, if you can avoid it, right? But these old timey cars are just fucking all metal, so then they smash with all that force. It's like,
yeah, those things are freaking
powerful.
tanks. That was like solid steel.
Bitchin' cars. So they get smashed. Then they end up, the guy escapes down into a sewer. He gets through a manhole and he drops down just before Clive can shoot his ass. Jumps down. That was badass too, when he jumps down the manhole, because the guy's like,
shooting downward,
like you missed or something like that. He jumps down the manhole, doesn't climb down the ladder gently. He's just shooting as he's descending.
They just are so over the top. All these scenes are so over the top, but it's like that's what adds to just the charm of the entire movie.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then the guy says he could have plugged them with a bullet, but he doesn't. When he lands in the water, he says, "I could have shot you through the ear, but I didn't." And then he basically lulls him into like this confidence, because he's like, "Where's the gun? I don't see a gun on him." And then you see he's got a detonator, so he blows some freaking no. So he blows something up underneath Clive Owen, underneath Dwight, and Dwight goes flying another direction. He didn't die.
It's like point blank, but he had to get saved twice. Like he almost died here again. Like that demolition expert guy almost took him out too.
Right.
And then Miho was the one that had to end up doing the coup de grace to him.
That's right. The knife, unless she wants you to feel it, and he says, "Oh, he felt that. She twisted the blade."
You won't feel anything unless she wants you to. I think that's how he says it.
Yeah, that's it.
Miho's a beast.
Absolutely. I don't know how you don't have a crush on her after you see her in this thing. You're just like, what? I didn't even know you existed.
Meanwhile, we're introduced to the mob enforcer Manute, played by Michael Clark Duncan.
R.I.P.
So he's the one that is he interrogating Gale?
Yes, he's got that big fat gold eye in his right eye.
Yeah, he literally has a golden eye.
That's right. I think it's weird also.
And this is where it's revealed that they were basically set up.
Yeah.
A double agent.
Who the hell would do such a dastardly deed?
Ended up being Becky. When she went to go call her mom and tell her about something, she was actually calling the bad guys.
I knew it.
Yeah. Knew she was up to no good.
So sus when she's like, I just want to hear my mom's voice.
What'd you guys think of that goon guy, the one that gets shot with the arrow?
I loved it. That had to be one of the funniest scenes, probably the funniest scene in my opinion.
He's like, ho!
He's like, ho! And then he's like, are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, as Manute is like having this like serious monologue, like he's just like, is anyone seen this? Like, check this out. I got
Actual exposition is happening, and he's just like, is this
No one's paying attention to him.
whatsoever. But who wants to? The guy's got a swastika on his forehead, for God's sakes. Fucking hilarious. And then of course he gets the coup de grace as well, with an arrow through the fucking back of his head, and then through that swastika as well.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I thought just that little part was like really comical. I was cracking up.
Oh, dude, that I could not stop laughing. That was just the whole. It's so, I think because there's just so much tension too. It's a great way to kind of give a little pressure release, because we can really only take so much tension, in a movie. And I think it's like with anything, like a really good song has to have, the dissonance, and then the consonants, and you need your tension, and then you need your resolution, just a little bit. And that guy, it surprises us for sure in a movie that's just so fucking cold-blooded. All of a sudden to just have that unexpected pressure release.
Yeah, he just had great delivery,
Absolutely.
It wasn't about what he was saying, it was how he was saying it.
Yes, exactly. His tone, all of it.
So yeah, Dwight ends up showing up, and he has Jackie Boy's head with him. What he wants to do is he wants to trade Gale's freedom for the head. The thing that we want to notice here is that I think the way that they play the scene out is that he put duct tape over Jackie Boy's mouth because he didn't want him to talk anymore. And I think that's kind of what they wanted you to think, but it ends up being something later on. Gale doesn't know what the plan is. He's just kind of standing there, and he's that was the screenshot I actually sent you, because Michael earlier, I think he sent me a meme of Clive Owen. I was just like, oh, that's funny, because I'm actually watching Clive on TV right now, and I sent you that shot of him holding Jackie Boy's head.
Yeah, that was because I was still employed with Optum at the time, and I was like, it was a scene one of the sadder scenes from Born Identity. Actually, it's the very very end, and he just says to him, "Look at what they make you give."
Right.
Because he had a good life as like a tutor or something like that. Clive Owen's character, so it's very specifically Clive Owen. So to see him, look at what they make
Two
you
different
give.
characters.
Yeah, two very different characters. Yeah. One actually speaks with a British accent, and the other
Right.
an American one.
Yep. I really like Clive Owen. Like, I don't know what it's about him, but like he just
Damn, is he not the most one of the most charming dudes? I mean, he's like up like him and Jude Law. They're both like freaking crazy charming.
Right.
Closer,
man. That was a fucking great movie. Oh, it's sad, but it's a good movie.
Terrible, but yeah.
Dwight ends up making the trade, right? He hands over the Jackie Boy's head that with the mouth taped up, and then he was like, "What did you do? You know, like you should have just blown everyone up. That was your chance right there." And he's just like, "Just watch,
wink,
just watch." And so, kind of similar to almost like foreshadowing with the whole situation, Jackie Boy in the alleyway, like how the girls were up top, you know, watching.
Mm-hmm.
It does like a top down view, and then you see the girls kind of like descending on their position, and I was like, oh shit. And so Gail sees it, and then that's when Dwight kind of hands her the Uzi, and then they just start like blasting him right from that whole alleyway,
gunning him down. Well, they blow up, the head blows up. He's like, his mouth wasn't taped.
Yeah, it wasn't taped earlier. And so yeah, they take out, like, I think Manute gets taken out with the grenade, and like whoever is next to him, and then everyone else just gets finished off from above.
Yeah, a hail of bullets, hailstorm.
And I like this monologue, this like internal dialogue that Dwight has, where he's just like, as he's watching Gail just kind of mow everyone down with her Uzi, and she's salivating almost, like she's enjoying it so much. And he's just like, my warrior woman, my Valkyrie. Dude, he's like so in love with her at this point.
Yeah. And they only had that one fling, he says. There was one, I only had her that one. We were only together that once.
Well, I guess they're back together now.
I guess they good.
Right. Forget Shelley.
Yeah, she's not a badass like Gail. Well, he doesn't say that he's not going to still go back to her.
True.
Well, I guess it's whatever this city is. Unfortunately, guys, I have to head out because I have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. It's time for me. So carry on. I'll see you guys.
All right, I'll go and pause it here. I think that story didn't have like as much weight behind it. Like there wasn't as much at stake. It was just like either we kill them or they kill us. There wasn't like a bigger impact that they're trying to make like the other stories, right? And I think this one, because of that, it's a little bit funner of a story, and it's they can be a little bit more lighthearted with a lot of aspects of it. So yeah, I like this one. It's not my favorite story out of all of them, but it does a nice job of adding different elements and just kind of making it so that way it's not just like depressing story. Like it breaks up the monotony, right?
Again, and the timing is important too, like we were saying before, of the levity, right? So this one adds something that you don't necessarily have to hang your hat on, nothing that you really need to get too emotionally invested in with any of the characters, really. But I think anyway, so yeah, this I think that was really well orchestrated. Great again pacing. Like you said, great pacing, precisely it. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the way that the plot works, the way that they wove the tale, as opposed to this uncut or recut version that you said before, recut that is like okay, so there's more extended scenes, but it's done in a way that doesn't weave the tale in as interesting a way, where it's more non-linear
in the specific order. Like that's where the magic happens. Like that's what makes it what it is. Without that, I don't think it's as impactful.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the exactly like you said, the order in which each of these is revealed. It's not unlike a lovely perfume where you put all the same ingredients. Hey, it's all the same ingredients. Who gives a shit? But it's like, no, the way that it develops over time is everything. You know, the way that when this comes out and then this other piece comes out, or this fragrance, and that for that matter comes out, it's revealed within. And it isn't revealed any sooner than that, right? And it's not done in this other order. It's got heart. This has heart, whereas that's more sterile.
Yeah. This next story that we're getting into, I would consider to be kind of the climax of Sin City. And this might be the most impactful one out of all of them. And so it makes sense to kind of save it towards the end. So that Yellow Bastard Part 2, and this, unfortunately, this is the one that Steph kind of had to ditch us. No, she had a
ditched us, dude.
It has work early in the morning, so she had to go to sleep. But we're definitely going to say our piece about the story because this is a fucking fantastic story here.
Amen, brother.
Surprise, we're back, and Hartigan is not dead. He got shot up like 20 times, and he's actually still alive. So he's recovering in a hospital, and we find out that Senator Rourke, he saw what happened to Junior, and he actually paid really good money to save Hartigan from dying. So he did like surgeries and all that stuff, whatever he needed to keep Hartigan alive and to bring him back so that way he can truly punish him. Like, how sadistic is the Rourke family?
Right.
They could easily kill these people off, but it's not enough for them. They want to torture you, and they want you to be miserable for as long as possible.
Yeah. You're if you're dead, it's done. You've been relieved.
It's too easy.
Your soul has been released. No, you're gonna suffer.
They're gonna take their time with you.
Yeah.
Hartigan, the story that they're spinning is that Hartigan has been framed for Junior's crimes. What they want Hartigan to do is, once he fully recovers, they want him to admit to those crimes, and they want him to be punished for those crimes. The ones that obviously he was fighting against. No one is stupid enough to testify for Hartigan. Little Nancy, she comes and visits him while he's in the hospital, and she's obviously very upset with like how everything's going down and what they plan to do to Hartigan. I'm not going to rat you out. Like, I want you to be protected, but I'm going to do time for this because of what they're trying to accuse me of. And so she says gracefully, right, that she's going to write to him every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So he does end up, once he's fully recovered, he does end up going to jail. He refuses to confess to everything, but they still keep him locked up
in solitary confinement. But I love the depiction of him being in solitary. So it looks like he's got like what kind of looks like a wood pallet on that he's walking on, a very, very small cell. But like the entire, it's like it really is a cage, like shot like a cage match, but like turned upside down that he's walking on, right? So it's like all you see is this cage and blackness, like eternal abyss all around him.
The only light is just over that cage part.
Over the top. Yeah, exactly. So it's just it's interesting, this depiction of this loneliness, and yet these letters, true to form, she really does come through, like she says she's going to Nancy with her letters. And so I think it's every week she writes them
diligently, and she has the pseudonym Cordelia, right, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she says as a child before she leaves, she says, I know that they'll be looking for me. I don't want to give it away that I'm writing you, so I'll use this name from now on,
right,
Cordelia. And so he even says goodbye to her as Cordelia.
Yeah, and to your point, like just like the minimalist with the set, I couldn't help but think that, like, man, this is probably like the cheapest set. Like, all right, let's get some fake bars, and you're just gonna sit in this square box. There's probably literally nothing around this cage. It's just the cage, this bench, and him.
And sure. Like you said, it's probably the cheapest part of their budget. I mean, if nothing else, if that was their motive for doing so, then good on them for accomplishing that.
Works.
Because it does work. I mean, I just saw this beautiful opera, and there was very little on stage. They had at the beginning of it there's a bed. And then again, just very simple parts on the set, but effective, incredibly effective, more so than if they'd had used more. So in this instance, I would say less is more. What's interesting too, which I thought was, how shall I put it? I thought it a little like Leon the Professional, when she turns over her shoulder and she turns around and faces him as after she's already, Nancy, as an 11-year-old girl, turns around in the doorway and tells him, I love you. Kind of feel a little bit of that same feeling.
That same dynamic, right?
Same dynamic. He's saving her life, no different than Leon did for Natalie Portman's character,
right,
in The Professional as well. And there's that deep love, that deep connection.
Yeah.
I would argue even more so in that situation in the professional
Right.
than in this. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I could definitely see it for sure. This is like such a messed up story for Hardigan, right? Because it's like the beginning part was already kind of sad because he got betrayed by his friend Bob,
Yeah.
but it gets even worse and worse for Hardigan as the story continues to unfold. I think that's what makes the character so much more endearing is because of all the shit that he has to put up with, he has to go through. He's not a Marv, you know, he's not this indestructible guy. He's actually quite fragile towards the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
He has that heart condition. They actually end up curing that so that way he can't like accidentally die from a heart attack.
That's what it
being
is.
tortured.
Yeah, that's right. That's what that was.
So he doesn't have that anymore, luckily, but unfortunately for him, that just means that he's going to survive all these terrible things that are lined up for him further down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. To look forward to. Something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, he's locked up and she writes to him every week. 8 years goes by and she's like still like on point, continues to write to him.
Yeah.
That actually ends up being like the only thing he has to look forward to at this point because everyone has kind of abandoned him.
Yeah, everyone's abandoned him, and he's come to expect those letters. They really are a consolation in his condition. You know, as much as because he's in solitary fucking confinement, so he has nothing else to really look forward to. And as you can see from his cell, it's very stark. And of course, knowing that these people fucking hate his guts, that those that kept him alive, like what solace would they really want to give him anyway? You know, what consolation would they really want to give him? No, they'd want him to suffer all those years. So yeah, 8 years in fucking solitary.
And unfortunately, what ends up doing the trick is that the letters stop abruptly and he's just like, what the fuck? It's like that Pavlovian effect where you're like used to something happening now, and now that it doesn't happen, he's like, he needs it. Like that's part of him.
Well, think about it too. It's like it's kind of like when a relationship ends as well. You're not only used to seeing this person, and we think of the loss of the grief that you have when you lose that person that was in your life, but in his case, you're also losing, well, in his case, and then of course with any loss of a relationship, you also lose that oxytocin and the serotonin, all those feel-good hormones that you would normally be getting from this person. And really, they're just bringing it up from within you. No one externally is giving you this. You're just being in their presence, their smell. You know, he's looking at her letters and she's writing these really nice things to him. Mm-hmm. And this is sort of like, not only is it nice in theory and nice to know that somebody's thinking about you, but deep down you're feeling those emotions and you're getting those feel-good hormones. So he really is in some sense kind of in a withdrawal, because now, as is the case when you are going through a breakup, you're going through withdrawals because you're no longer receiving that oxytocin and the serotonin that you were once receiving mm-hmm. before from this person. So in a very real way, he's enduring even worse suffering than he had been for so long. Because at least once a week he would get that letter, and sure, he could go back and reread those letters even now that she sent him before. But there's something about knowing that they're not coming, over. That it's not fresh, right? Exactly, that it's over and may not be coming. And he's thinking, of course, and so then it's torturous because then he's like running through these thoughts in his head, like, Did she find somebody finally? Good for her, but also like,
sucks for him.
Did they harm her? Yeah, sucks for me, but also maybe it isn't that she found somebody else. Maybe they found out that it was her writing me, and fuck them, because now maybe they hurt her. And sure enough, he finally gets a letter in the mail.
Yeah, but
there's no letter in it, in the envelope. It's just a finger of what would ostensibly be a 19-year-old girl. This 8 years later, mm-hmm. right?
I really love how they depicted that too, because that's a natural reaction to have, is when you start panicking and you start coming up with all these scenarios and you're almost mm-hmm. like getting into your own head.
Oh, big time. So they realize they can't break him. And so that's the one way they can break him, kill him from the inside out. So now now this is the one form of torture that really got through to him, got him to confess, because he wanted to get out. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but it seemed like he wanted to get out, to go find her,
to confirm whether if they really got to her or not. He wasn't going to be able to do anything locked up, so he needed to get out at some point, and the only way he was going to get out is if he just played nice.
Played their game, right? Exactly. So so yeah, he confesses to all the crimes that the fucking yellow bastard child whatever fucking did, all the murders, I guess, that he committed. Is that what he's confessing to?
Yeah, he confessed to all that stuff. Yeah, the murders, the rapes,
the rapes, all the torturing, and then he gets off. Then he gets released, which is crazy to think. But yeah, so he finally, but he plays their game, and so they're like, okay, yeah, we'll release you now. So now yeah, so now he's a free man, and he sets out to find her.
The first thing he wants to do is, like, he's never stopped thinking about her, right? So this is kind of a interesting, kind of like Leon the Professional, how you're saying, from his perspective, it's not a sexual relationship, right?
Thank you. Exactly.
He still loves her. Like, I don't even think he realized he loved her until he got out.
Exactly. Because I think it's like it feels inappropriate, right? Like he's like, well, this is like 11-year-old girl and everything, but he cares deeply for her. I mean, to have saved her is to have loved her enough to sacrifice himself for her. So he's got that. Remember, we talked about, I don't know if we've talked about those different forms of love that the Greek language talks about, but you have eros, which is that passionate love making love, that sexy, erotic, right? Eros, erotic. Then you have phileo, which is the love, like friendship love. And then you have agape or agape, and agape would be self-sacrificial love. You love the other person so much you're willing to give of yourself for their benefit, to take
almost
care
like
of them.
A guardian.
It could be as a guardian. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in a Christian way, you would say, then Jesus has agape because he gives his life for the many. So that's that self-giving love, that self-sacrificial love that martyrs, of course, have given and all that, and we see, and so he has that form of love, and I think that she has a deep form of love for him too. But again, he's looking at it like, I want to protect her. I want to make sure that she's okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just so that she can live a full fucking life. Yeah. This kid whose life was almost cut short. So he's hell bent on making sure that think about it, at this point, he's invested so much of his energy, of his life force into making sure that this girl survives, lives, and is not harmed because of what she's gone through. Because I mean, he's fucking endured bullets, he's gone through suffering, through surgeries, he's had to be incarceration for 8 years in solitary fucking confinement. Like, he wants so much to make sure that she's okay, so that at least he knows that it wasn't for fucking nothing.
He's in too deep now.
He's in so deep. He's like, fuck, I did all this. Like, you better be alive. They better not have found you.
And he no longer has a bum ticker.
That's right. He's all fixed up.
I think he finds out later that, like, his wife remarried, right? She divorced him and remarried.
Yeah, his former partner, Michael Madsen's character, is there to pick him up when he is leaving the clink, right, as it were. And when they're in the car, he asks about his wife, or his ex-wife, I guess. And
she has a kid now, right?
Yeah, about 4 years back, she got married and has a kid.
And you can see that he's kind of moved on past that. Like, he's just like, yeah, she'll make a good mom. She always wanted kids.
Yeah. How can you falter,
Before he can even think about himself, he's thinking about Nancy. I got to find her. I got to make sure she's all right. He finds like a little packet of matches, right, that lead to Katie's bar.
How does he find her place, though?
Exactly. If he tracked down the location of, like, where the letters were coming from or something?
Couldn't have. No way, because they would have found her that way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So I forget how it is. He finds her room, and then he sees all these law books, and I'm like, dang, that's precious. She was doing her damnedest as well on her end to try to find a way to exonerate him, to get him fucking out of that situation. It makes no sense to have her suffer as well while he's suffering. So it's like he not to give up on him. I don't know. A good healthy balance. Who knows why the letters stopped? I don't know. I forgot if they ever get back to that, but if the letters stopped because she started just living her life, then even then that's like, how can you really falter as well? I mean, he sacrificed so much for her to do exactly that. So live your life. Yeah. why expect her to hold back and everything? I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
definitely.
So yeah, he finds a matchbook and he decides, oh, I'll go check this place out. And it turns out it's this bar that we're familiar with now because we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times. Yeah, and it's cool because you see a lot of familiar faces. Yeah, Marv is back, and it was actually nice seeing him again. You're like, oh shit, like this is before he died.
Yeah, exactly.
You see Jessica Alba kind of dancing in the background, but I love the reveal because it's a slow reveal. You're seeing her kind of like in the background, but she's not the main focus yet. And so
Right.
you see Shelly come back up and, she's like, hey, what can I get you? And he's just like, oh, nothing. Hey, do you know what Nancy? Oh, she's just getting warmed up. Points to the stage. And that's where it hit me too. So I don't know if you figured it out like way before this.
No.
But when I first watched it, I was like, enough time had passed between like part 1 and part 2. And see, this is why I like the way that they did the nonlinear style. So
Perfect.
enough time has passed that I kind of forgot what her name was. And they had like mentioned her name in passing, right?
What you're saying right now, and you realize that's Nancy, and you see her just dancing.
And she was there the whole time.
And she'd been there the whole time. And you're realizing, oh my gosh, like levels hit you in the freaking face. You're just like, oh my gosh, the same Nancy that Marv talks about just wanting, like watching and wanting her, falling in love with her, even just there. And there you see him there, sitting with his beer or whatever he's drinking, watching her dance. It's just like as always,
Yep. That was such a fun reveal for me because I was blown away. I was just like, no fucking way, that's Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, same.
I also really love the way that he figures out that it's a trap and he's just like, fuck, I led them right to her. Holy shit.
Yeah. I was looking at her fingers, and I wonder if that's what he was looking at too. I don't remember if there was a real close up of it, but I remember looking as she's dancing, she's gripping the pole, and I'm like, she's not maimed.
No,
she's got all her digits, and that's exactly what I was thinking is, and almost like clockwork, almost as soon as he saw, right after you've seen her dancing there, and I was thinking this, all of a sudden that's when he turns away and he goes, huh, damn it, I led them right to her, because I was thinking the same thing. If she's got all her fingers intact, they really didn't have her. This was all a ploy to get him to lead them to her.
Right.
And he did exactly that. And then you have this bittersweet moment where you're like with him, going for her betterment, for all these years that he's sacrificed of his own life, for her to have her safety, not be discovered. You're hoping like, please, again, it's bittersweet because you're like, you don't want her to recognize him, but you do want her to recognize him at the same time. Under different circumstances, you would rather her see, he could very well have walked out of her life at that moment forever. Just knowing that she was alive, I think would have been enough.
Right.
And just never want, and she just never wanted to attract attention to her ever again. Just let her live her life,
Exactly.
Move on. But she does recognize him, and she comes and she wraps her arms around him and plants one on him.
She never stopped thinking about him, and you can see the disappointment on Marv's face. He just looks over like, oh, damn it.
And just over his shoulder, you can see the stinky yellow, you bastard, over his shoulder. And you're just like, oh, there he is. At least I can see him. And then the scene cuts back to her face, and she's talking to him, saying that she's never forgotten him, thought about him every day or whatever. Yeah. And meanwhile, he's like, kind of like, that's a fucked up situation too, because he wants so badly to say the same things. I'm so grateful to you for all the letters that you wrote. Like it's not so much that he's such a hard person that he can't get there. It's the circumstances. Every minute spent talking to her is one where he's not getting the fuck out of there and can't see where this guy is. And then of course, when they're done with this little exchange, he looks and she says, oh, okay, I'll go get ready or whatever. Yeah. I'll grab my coat, put some clothes on or whatever. And so she leaves, and that's when he turns to look, and that yellow bastard is not there anymore.
You see this like fucking like ogre looking guy, but you don't even know who that is. He fucking stands out because you see the contrast. He's like this bright yellow on a black and white setting.
He's got this bulbous head. His head is strange. The jawline is okay, I think, but it's like the head is like really round, abnormally so.
Right. Yeah, he's very strange looking for sure, and he definitely stands out like a sore thumb in more ways than one, because it's like first it's the looks, but then it's the smell as well that you come to find out. But yeah, I will say, I mean, we have to make some mention of Jessica Alba's dance here, because this thing like kind of broke the internet for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Was she already in that movie Honey by this point? Had she already done Honey?
2003. So it was
Yeah, yeah.
before. Yeah.
So she had some dance moves for sure. And
Brought those dance moves over.
I will say, yeah, that body roll, that is special. I mean, honestly, to not everybody can do that body roll. I mean, it takes an understanding of and comfortability with your body to be able to move it that way. But the coordination and how
With the
fucking sexy that
lasso.
is with the lasso. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like she was in her prime, you know. I mean,
Very
God,
much so.
what a gorgeous woman, truly, like special. What a time to have been, what a time to be alive, and what a thing to appreciate in her femininity.
She was damn near perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Truly stunningly beautiful. Even though I was mentioning before how I was like, it was only temporary. I only told myself, oh no, I didn't want to have a crush on this chick anymore. Yeah, and it's just so endearing, the love that she's held for this guy who took care of her, you know, all of it. And so you think, oh, she's just this pretty face, she just dances there in the beginning. Oh, and Marv was like, I fell in love with her just with her beauty and her dancing. Then you realize the depth of her character and what she's been through, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the girl. And oh my gosh, like she gets to thank this guy that has been really truly the only like solid male figure in her life.
Yeah, I was very much like, this is the girl.
Oh, yes. Yes. This is the girl.
That's how I was feeling.
Love it. Love it. Little Justin Theroux action, little Mulholland Drive. Fuck, we got to review that. We got to do that movie. We don't review them. We just swim in them.
Yeah.
We just indulge in the movies.
And I just try to pretend like I understand what's going on.
Seriously.
Try to make sense of it.
But yeah, this is the girl, 100%, dude. With I mean, I prefer her as a brunette though, personally, but the blonde hair,
Same.
I mean, she's still just so beautiful, so damn beautiful. Yeah,
I definitely wanted to make sure we touched on that at least a little bit, because that was like a major part of the movie. Like that was one of the scenes that everyone always remembers, and it's not even really important to the story, but damn, it left an impression.
Oh, absolutely. Especially her. Oh God, yeah, her.
She grabs her coat and she loses heart again, and they're just kind of like hauling ass or whatever. Unfortunately, on the road, there's a shootout with that like yellow goblin guy. At first, like I thought he was like a hired assassin or something, right? Because I mean,
Same.
there's like those are a dime a dozen in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she also mentions they take, because you know Hardigan doesn't have shit. He just got out of the clink, so they're driving in her car. Foreshadowing, I'm the only one that can keep this car running, so that's gonna come into play later.
Yeah, it's a junker. It's a hoopty.
Yep. And Hardigan's not shooting back. Like he's just like, you gotta take your time, you know. Like he's too quick with his shots, and he's just wasting them. But it's like, you gotta take your time. And so he finally gets one off, gets him right in the ear again, right? Essentially.
Right, exactly.
Or he gets him in the neck, I think, and he's just like, ah!
Yeah, then in the neck, and there's just blood spewing.
Yeah,
yellow blood spewing out. And then he wrecks. As much as he wants to get away from the situation, he's like, I don't want to have to be in this situation again, so let's make sure this fucking asshole's dead.
Let's do it.
Sure
right.
enough, they get back there and his blood is everywhere, but dude's nowhere to be found. And that's when he reaches down, touches that yellow blood, and he's like, it reeks even worse than he does.
Yeah.
Which is, how is that possible?
That's when he was mentioning like, oh, like almost vomited immediately right after he touches it. Man, I love just the way that they play the scene out, because like he touches it and he talks about like how disgusting it was, how disgusting it smelled. And then they make it to the motel and he's just like, oh, like that smell followed us all the way there. And so they get inside and you see that like he's fucking in the back of their station wagon, and love just like the attention to detail, because you think that it's because he touched the blood that like the smell is still there.
And that's why he reasoned it that way. But I even thought, and maybe this is because I had seen it before so long ago, but I even thought in my mind, maybe he only sneaked because they couldn't find him. Where would he have disappeared off to? How could he have gotten very far? He was bleeding everywhere. You would have seen a trail of blood leading off someplace else, but nowhere. Can't find him. So my thought was he maybe in their car or in the trunk or something? And sure enough,
yep,
that's when you see him pop up as you see the silhouettes of Nancy and Hardigan talking in the apartment or whatever, the hotel or motel room. You can see their silhouettes, and then him in the foreground popping up in their car. You're just like, you fucking dirty rat, you fucking nasty smelling,
Son of a
fucking
bitch.
shitty stubble, fucking elf looking motherfucker.
Little piss elf. You couldn't wait to just see him get his comeuppance, right? You're just like, fuck, like this guy, he just won't go away.
Yeah, he's just gross, and he's raining on their parade. Look, this is a reunion that's been at least 8 years in the making, at least. So he's we don't know who he is, other than that he's an asshole who's trying to kill Nancy,
and he seems pretty tenacious.
Yeah, he seems pretty tenacious, and so you're just like, fuck this guy for fucking ruining this reunion at the very least, and for trying to kill her. Fuck him.
Great foil.
Yeah. But then
it gets worse.
Then Hartigan sees himself off to the bathroom to take a shower so he can just kind of wind down. He just got out of fucking prison and shit, so he's just trying to relax, and in as much as he's able to, knowing that this guy's still on the loose somewhere. Mm-hmm. So he's in the shower, and then surprise!
Oh god!
Bow! He gets clocked.
Oh yeah,
2 or 3 good times. You got knocked
out clean. Yeah. And then wakes up and he's in a fucking terrible situation now. So he's tied up on top of this table with the noose around his neck.
It's got to be one of the it's fucked up.
Of course, in typical villain fashion, he has to kind of reveal his plans, right? He's like, I'm gonna steal Nancy. Well, first he reveals himself. He's like, you recognize my voice? The yellow bastard is Junior, so that motherfucker's still alive.
Yeah, Rourke Jr. He's like, so the guy whose dick he shot off, whose arm he also shot off, is the yellow bastard before him. I love the way that they filmed him, Hartigan stuck in the noose. His feet, gosh, they build so much tension with his
close-ups on the toes.
Really on the toes of his feet, really trying to grasp what air he can, because the way that he strung him up, there's no real leeway here. He needs slack to be on his no extra slack. He needs those tippy toes on the coffee table, and the coffee table looks flimsy. It's like 2 stacked coffee tables. It looks like.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it looks like one stacked on top of each other, and so he's just that little bit that he can get his toes on, but you can see that it keeps tipping. It's tilting. So like the more pressure he puts, it's just torturous, truly torturous.
He's basically telling him Hartigan that like, this is where you're gonna die, and you're gonna die knowing that you tried to save this girl and you couldn't, and I'm gonna have my way with her.
Yeah, and as I have with all the other girls, hundreds of girls over the 8 years, however many over the 8 years, he says, he's even lost track of the number of women he's brutally raped and murdered.
Being a piece of shit, he's just like, she's a little old for my taste, but I'll make it work, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll make it work, exactly. But he even talks about how, he reveals exactly not only that he is who he is, but that he's also gone through it's explaining why he's yellow and smells like shit, is because his father paid for many experimental surgeries and procedures to be done on him so that he could grow back a dick that Hartigan shot off.
Yeah.
And so it implies that it did work, but the drawback is he looks and smells the way he got.
So at least that way they can somewhat have hope that he can keep the bloodline going, the Rourke name.
Yeah.
And then with that said, he kicks the coffee tables out from under his feet and then just walks off. And Hartigan is fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think?
Those are tough scenes. And you're to assume as well that he's butt naked because he was in the shower when all this happened. True. So you can't see, it's all lighting silhouettes and things, so you can't see him dick out, just hanging out with his wang out, literally.
Yeah, quite literally hanging out.
With his wang out. As one does, dude, hanging out with my wang out. So he gets the so he's about to acquiesce. He's about to slip into that deep dark sleep of eternal rest. And then he decides, no, hold my beer. I'm gonna tighten my neck. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna tighten my neck, and then I'm gonna.
It might work, depend on how your physique is, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you have Marv's neck, but anyway, he does it, and it works long enough for him to swing. Oh, could you imagine the centrifugal force?
Mm-hmm.
He kicks the glass window behind him, and somehow has the wherewithal to have caught between his feet a shard of that glass.
He got so fucking lucky with that.
There's a lot of luck, but I mean, hey, it's a movie. So he gets it. It's big fucking shard of glass, and that's what he ostensibly cuts his bindings with, is the rope above him and the bindings. And then
imagine surviving something like that, a situation like that. That's crazy. Like, keep fighting, old man. Oh, those hitmen show up, and I think they're there to kind of like clean up the body or whatever, because I think they expect him to be dead.
Those fucking guys that Marv clobbered with a fucking pipe and shit. Those fucking guys just keep getting the shit under the. I love it. That's actually kind of comic relief. Because the one dude is super like eloquent. The smaller of the two dudes. It's very much like a Of Mice and Men situation with George and Lenny. And so yeah, he knocks out the big dude again, and then who, by the way, has no lines in the movie, as far as I can recall.
I don't think so either.
It's always the littler dude who's talking, and he's again very erudite.
And then they get jacked, so he steals their car, and he's going down to the farm. So that's where everyone hangs out, is at the farm.
And we've been there already, to the farm with Marv when he kills Kevin.
Yep. On his way to the farm, he sees Nancy's car on the side of the road, so he's just like, oh shit, no one can keep this car running but me. And so you assume that Junior was the one that was driving the car, and she didn't tell him about how to keep it running, so the car just breaks down, and so they have to walk the rest of the way, and that probably bought a lot of time for her.
Right, exactly.
She's smart.
Yeah, exactly. Resourceful for sure.
Do you think she actually believed that Hartigan was going to make it out of that situation and come for her?
I do. I think that she believes, I think if nothing else, she loves him so hard that she loves him into existence in some sense, right? Like it's almost like the manifest destiny kind of thing, where it's like, if you believe it hard enough, if you love it hard enough and you want it bad enough, it may happen. Mm-hmm. So even if the odds are stacked against him, it's not a matter of faith in him. It's a matter of her faith in him. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's like, no, I believe it.
It's
like,
gonna happen.
Like, Trinity, get up. Trinity, get up. Right?
Yeah,
get up. It's kind of like, it's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen. So yeah. So I think if nothing else, she's giving herself a fighting chance in the off chance, of course, that he actually survived being hung up with nothing else around him to possibly save him.
Since Hartigan he's studied Junior when he was tracking him before, he had already told Nancy, like, don't scream, like, whatever you do, don't scream, because then he can't do anything. He won't be able to like finish the job, basically.
Yeah. He's like the clown. He's like Pennywise in It. He needs the screams.
Right. You're gonna scream. They all scream. Yeah, Hartigan, he arrives on their compound, but now he has to get into a shootout because he's just like, damn it, I rushed in like Galahad or whatever, and he eventually makes it there. This is almost like deja vu, right? From the first part. Junior has her, and he has like the knife to her throat, and he's basically talking shit. Like, there's nothing you can do. Look at you, you're keeled over. That's where he says the line. You can't even lift that cannon. And so it's just like deja vu all over again.
Right.
So I think he fakes the heart attack, but I don't think Junior knew about the fact that he had that procedure done on his heart. And so that's no longer a factor. Mm-hmm. And so he's pretending like he's having a heart attack again. And that's when he lowers his guard. He shoots his ear off. Pretty much kind of mirroring, right, the first part of the story. So he falls down and he's just like, I take away his weapons. Both of them. And man, this shit was gnarly. He reaches down and rips his dick off. Like, it's even worse than getting shot off.
Oh, I know. That's terrible. Especially since he had to grow it back.
All that just to get it ripped off.
Just to get it ripped off.
And you see the tendons and everything as he's ripping it out. And he was channeling all of his anger and frustration into this moment.
Oh, gruesome, but also what a catharsis for him.
It's
You know,
such
what
a
a delight.
satisfying payoff, right?
Yes, absolutely. Especially, I mean, absolutely. We're living vicariously through him as he destroys this human.
Hardigan, fuck him up.
Yeah, yeah,
And he gets to the point, so he just starts like punching him, pummeling him, right?
yeah.
And he even says he gets to the point where he like pulverized Junior's head so badly that he's pretty much just punching bone fragments into the dirt.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying. Love it. Love that. And also a couple other things that come to mind. The stench. The stench must be so horrific, and yet at the same time knowing that this guy is gone at that point,
Yeah.
like the stench itself is almost like its own sweet reward, like knowing like fuck this guy, the intensity of the stench with all the blood and his innards being on the outards is like just knowing like victory in some sense. It's like it's victory, the smell of victory, the stench of victory, as it were. But then the other thought of punching somebody so much, not just bone fragments, but imagine punching somebody to the point where your arms are heavy, your hands are heavy from just from doing that. That's intense.
Oh yeah, he deserved
Bone
it.
fragments. Yeah, absolutely.
For all that nasty shit that he did to all those past victims, like Hardigan, you know, he did all that for them, for Nancy and for all the past victims.
Yeah, exactly. Never to be harmed again. Never to harm anybody else again.
Nancy and Hardigan are walking back to the car, and he basically lies to her here to protect her, but he tells her, like, head back. I'll be right behind you. I just got to go finish up a couple things, like tie up some loose ends. And I guess his reasoning was because Senator Rourke, his son, was just murdered by Hardigan. He wasn't going to stop hunting him.
No, never. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at least unless he gets to him first. I mean, he, for fuck's sake, could do that too.
Yeah. He realizes that that's not really realistic. And if he were to take out Rourke, then there might be like other goons that try to hunt her down.
It will never stop. Yeah, it'll never stop, unfortunately.
They would have to keep looking over their shoulder, and that's just no way to live. So he, with Nancy, you know, having driven off, like he ends up shooting himself. The hunt is over, and they won't be able to find Nancy because the only one that knew where she was Junior, and he's no longer there. And I'm not even sure if Senator Rourke even knew about that whole situation.
No, it's like he's certainly not as motivated as Junior was to find her and all that shit. It's just yeah. So an old man dies and a young girl lives. Fair trade.
They bookend both ends of the story with that. I love the way that it's just so poetic, the way it like carries out again. History repeats itself.
Right, a gruesome posy, as it were.
That story was intense.
Absolutely.
And I can see why they saved it for the climax of the movie.
Yeah, what a payoff. Because you hate that Junior asshole. And then I don't know, just the whole thing just drawn out the way that it was.
Bruce Willis as Hardigan was just great casting.
Pitch perfect.
I guess in a way, kind of similar to the prologue, like they bookend the Sin City movie with the continuation of The Customer Is Always Right. So this is The Customer Is Always Right Part 2, basically calling back to the salesman from the beginning of the movie. So you got the prologue and the epilogue. And we see that Becky actually survived that like shootout in the alleyway after that explosion with Jackie Boy's head. Becky got shot, but she survived.
That little fucking treacherous hoe.
She's at the hospital, and she's kind of like heading out, and she's talking to her mom on the phone. For real this time, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And so she gets into the elevator, and you're still kind of feeling salty about her, right? Because you're just like, man, this bitch like sold everyone out. Fuck her.
Yeah.
And in the elevator, she encounters a familiar face. It's fucking the salesman, right? Josh Hartnett. So he's dressed as a doctor now. And so I basically kind of think of Josh Hartnett's character here as almost like Agent 47. Get to your target, but like you can get there in any way you want. And he puts on all these different identities, right?
Right.
And so now he's a doctor. He kind of glances up and he knows her name. He's like, hi, Becky. I don't know if she knew who he was, but I think she knew that there was something off about him. And so she was like, Mom, I gotta go. slowly closes her phone, and that's the end of the
A
movie.
flip phone.
Yeah.
Predates the iPhone by 2 years. Came out in 2007, right?
I think so. Around
First
there, yeah.
iPhone. So yeah, flip phone. I gotta go.
It kind of changes the way that you think about the salesman, because at the beginning you're like, wow, this guy is
Piece of shit.
yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit and being all sweet to her, and then you took her out and he's just talking about like, I'm just going to cash my check in the morning. So he's like completely apathetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now fast forwarding to the end of the movie, you're just like, oh hell yeah, fucking get her. Get her, bro.
We know you're good for it. We know you'll kill a woman.
And
You
he's
have
going
no
to.
qualms.
You know that she's not getting out of that elevator.
Absolutely, because he's as long as he's getting paid, she's dying.
She's just another paycheck for him.
That's it.
So I love that they play with your perception of certain characters like that. That was kind of fun,
especially at the very end like that. I mean, they give us a small win, all things considered.
And that is a wrap on Sin City. If you made it to the end of our podcast, then you just single-handedly took down the Rourke family and now get to properly relax in Old Town.
Yay!
Properly. Any final thoughts or closing comments?
What a ride! It's a fun ride. It's a little being noir. I mean, it really is true to form. It's a heartbreaker. There are no noirs that end well. I mean, they give you a little bit of a victory somewhere along the line, but most of them are Sunset Boulevard. I don't know, maybe Double Indemnity actually ends kind of decent, but most of them just end sad.
I just like the full package of like what they presented with Sin City. Like, this movie is the shit. It's so fucking enjoyable to watch if you're okay with like gore and stuff like that. But granted, like, you don't really see a lot of the detail because it's in that comic book
stylized
style.
Yeah,
but this movie still holds up. You're mentioning earlier that you didn't even remember a lot of the movie, right?
Oh yeah, very little of it, honestly.
It was almost like watching it again for the first time.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a function. I don't know if that's just me not having really paid close attention to the movie itself. I don't know where I was watching it. Honestly, I cannot remember where I saw it. But I also wonder if it's also a function of the non-linear storyline, because I really couldn't tell you all the exact, like the sequence of scenes in the movie Pulp Fiction. I know things that happen. I don't know the order exactly in which they do happen. So maybe that because it's not all one cluster that hangs onto the same one brand. I don't know. That's a strange analogy, but for anybody who's read Mind for Numbers, you know what I mean. So being able to attach this all in some sort of cohesive way, it kind of makes it difficult to remember all the parts. But having said that, how fun it was to watch it again and see things that seemed kind of familiar, but also were like, oh, that's how this goes. Oh, okay. Like it just felt all new again.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really cool experience.
Still has great acting. Still has excellent stories. The ensemble cast.
Yeah. Rutger Hauer, come on, man. I couldn't help but think of him in Blade Runner, which is why I think that was so top of my mind when we were talking about that.
Right.
The uncut and director's cut and all that shit. But yeah, Rutger Hauer.
Did you have a favorite story in this anthology?
Good question. I guess I would say if I did, it would be the Marv story. Not just because Carla Gugino, but mostly because Carla Gugino. No. I just really liked his dialogue. I liked his delivery. Like I said, I wrote down that line. I didn't write much. I didn't write very many notes about this one, but I did like that line when he says, after he said about how he asks people when he doesn't know something, he goes out and finds somebody who knows, and then he asks them. And then he says, then he kind of looks toward him, and he just says, "I ask pretty hard. Sometimes I ask pretty hard."
and again, like from time to time, he's just like, "That's a nice coat."
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's a charm.
Keep stealing.
He's just such a charmer. It's such a charming role for somebody who is so hideous to look at. So yeah, that I would say was my favorite storyline. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, so I think that each story kind of serves a different purpose. Like the salesman, right? That's kind of like book ending both ends of Sin City. It's the prologue and the epilogue. And Marv's story is obviously the most badass. Like he's just like such a cool character. Dwight, I think that story is just that one is the most enjoyable, I think, out of all of them, because Marv's story is kind of a bittersweet ending, you know, because it's like he dies in the end, but he still got revenge. With Dwight, like that was just more of a happy ending on their part, and there wasn't much at stake either. It was just kind of like try not to die, basically. You know, and there's the whole like fate of Old Town, I guess, but that wasn't as, it didn't seem like as important as like what the other stories were trying to accomplish.
Right. Each of the women would still have lived. It would have just been more of a torturous existence because they'd have to be under the thumb of the mafia and the police.
Sure. And then obviously Hardigan's is the most emotional and has the best payoff. And I think that may have been my favorite story, just because that one was, I thought the story and the relationship between Hardigan and Nancy was so sweet. And against all odds, Hardigan, this unassuming, like fucking like retired cop, through fucking hell and back, he gets the job done, and he comes back for Nancy and he saves her in the end. I just feel like with that payoff, like, I don't know, how can you not like that one? There was a reason why they saved that one for the climax.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliantly orchestrated. Yeah. And with you saying that scene with her dancing, how you said it broke the internet, you know, it makes sense. I mean, that it makes sense to make that also the climax as well, you know, and it's so poignant. It's placed so in such it's a perfect place in the movie. Again, the pacing, like you said, was excellent. So
the big reveal too, like I think that was the only one that had a reveal with not only Nancy but with Junior. I thought both of those were like, damn.
Oh yeah, one after the other.
Some big moments in it. Me personally, I'm not that big of a Robert Rodriguez fan, which I know comes as a surprise because I'm a big fan of Tarantino, and I think a lot of people kind of think that they're interchangeable. But I might argue the fact that I think Robert Rodriguez's films are not as well written or as charming in comparison to Tarantino, but I think his style serves Sin City really well.
First of all, how dare you? Secondly, how dare you? Yeah, no, I you know, they're two different people. I think they have their strengths. I love Robert Rodriguez's Desperado with Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. That broke the internet before the internet.
Yeah, before the internet.
But there's a certain, I mean, the dialogue with Tarantino, any Tarantino film, is just gonna grip you. It's like Aaron Sorkin, right? He writes crazy good dialogue, real fast paced stuff, kind of like the way Tarantino just grabs you with dialogue too. Those are two really, really great writers of dialogue.
Are you watching anything lately, film or TV?
Severance, dude.
All day.
No, series. Don't leave me alone. Don't turn on my HomePod. Here's Severance and was like, oh,
did you mean me?
Severance, dude. The song "Windmills of Your Mind" has been playing nonstop, like rent free in my brain ever since I finished the final episode. I don't binge shows. I don't like to typically. I like to take my time with a show, especially one that's been, like, I think the term is serialized. I could be wrong, but whenever it's released once a week, as opposed to all episodes made immediately available to you when it's released. I like not binging. Not having the option yet to binge it. I like that you can think about it. Like Game of Thrones, when it came out, me and my coworkers it would only come out once a week, every Sunday, and we would all discuss it throughout the week. Everyone's thinking, we all have our own theories. Everyone's discussing it. At Apple, there were, I think over 250 of us. So, not all at the same time. We all had different shifts and stuff, but there was a total of 250 of us.
Sure.
So we're all, and it was part of the zeitgeist, you know, everyone was talking about this. It was the show to be discussing, and we all had our little fan theories. Some did, you know, would read up on it on Reddit and stuff like that. So very few shows really ever compel people to do these kinds of things. And Severance is definitely one of them. I read an article from the LA Times about the final episode, or final season. Not final season, sorry, the most recent season, I should say, because there's a fourth season coming out. fucking, oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. It's special.
I mean, I might even say you might need to like wait until like the third episode to see if it hooks you, because that's what happened to me. Like the first couple episodes, you're gonna be so confused. You're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. But then you begin to grasp what's happening here by like episode 3, and you're like, holy shit. So now you're understanding the characters, you're kind of somewhat understanding what's like the concept of what's going on here at this company. You're curious to see where it goes from there. You want to see how it unfolds, and it's got some great acting. So a lot of these actors I've never seen before. Milchek is fucking awesome. Like I love that character.
Milchek, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
Milchek is fucking
That was a
amazing.
well-deserved award.
Goodness, he won. What did he win?
What's the award show for TV shows? Emmy. So he won an Emmy for playing Milchek.
I got as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna watch the YouTube video of his acceptance speech. That is so well deserved, dude. What a fucking great actor. Where the fuck did he come from? He's got so much charisma. Your eyes are drawn to him on the screen, and absolutely him. Helly R. Oh, so gorgeous, so beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, and just a firecracker.
Yep.
What about you?
Just one of note. So I saw Begonia in theaters.
How was it?
You still haven't seen it?
I gotta go see it. I got more free time on my hands. I gotta go see that, and I gotta say, "Die, my darling," or something like that.
Begonia, man, Yorgos Lanthimos,
man.
I mean, if you've seen any of his other movies, you kind of have an idea of what you're walking into. But man, Begonia is a fucking crazy ass movie.
Wow, I can't wait.
And that's all I'll say.
And they say it's a comedy. Emma Stone was talking about it whenever she was on the press junket and she was doing all the late night talk shows. She said, yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see it. Let me know what you think about it.
Yeah, I you know what? I'll go see it tomorrow. In fact, I'm gonna go to town, get my hair cut, get my hair trimmed.
It's still in theaters, because I don't think Begonia did that well. It's not exactly a movie that appeals to the mass audience. You're
right. I mean, hell, even when Eddington came out, it was on a small release. I mean, it was in one of the back small theaters at Harkins. So yeah, art films like that, I guess. Well, I am going to LA this weekend, so if nothing else, I'm sure there's going to be somebody playing it out there. Yeah, I'll catch it out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Begonia. Fuck, dude.
Go see it.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
I love that you love the weird ones, man. I love that you love the weird movies.
That was A24's bread and butter, but I don't know what the fuck happened, man. Like, where are these crazy ass ideas that they're so known for having? And now, I don't know, they're like doing The Materialist or whatever, like shit like that, you know? It's not really
lame. Yeah, I want movies that make me think. I want movies that are that aren't run of the mill bullshit, you know?
I still need to see Eddington, by the way. I think it's out on like HBO Max, if I recall.
What?
One of those streaming services.
You gotta text me. We gotta talk about that one at some point. When you do, because I don't know anybody else that has, aside from my pops, because he went with me.
Well, you can find us wherever you normally get your podcasts. New episodes drop on the first Saturday of each month, 5 a.m. Pacific. If you like what you heard, leave us a like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you all for listening and joining Michael and myself, and Stephanie. She was here for part of it too. This has been Aflixionados podcast, Triumvirate episode 62, Sin City. Congratulate Michael out on the streets if you see him. We will see you all next time.
Latest on the Minjay.